and welcome to another edition of Stony Brook Women's Basketball here on YouTube stream. I'm Jim Ferchland alongside Zach Wilson. And Stony Brook last game on Saturday, they fell to a very good Maine team with Blanc Milan dropping 20 points, leading the American East in scoring. But now Stony Brook has a new test ahead of them on this Wednesday night on January 23rd, where they play the rival Albany Great Danes. And they will have their hands full as a team that they haven't beaten since February 22nd of 2015.
Yeah, they're definitely looking for other ways. It has been very long since they beat their Empire rival, and they're looking to stop it tonight.
And Terrell Matthews, she hasn't played since the Penn State win on 81-70 win back before Christmas break. And on the scoreboard, her starting number is in the starting lineup, but that we don't know what the process is. We talked to Coach McCombs over the radio on Sunday night, and she said that more than likely we want to wait for maybe a week or two, but we expect her to come back to the starting lineup.
Yeah, definitely so. She has definitely been a great playmaker when she is active. Besides Shorty Johnson and Leah Pagan, Jarrell Matthews also brings a lot of depth to this team, so we're hoping to see if it comes soon.
Well, not only depth, she is the second leading scorer on this team. And then you have the leading scorer, Shorty Johnson. She did struggle last Saturday against a good Maine team, like we said already. She had 10 points, only went 4 of 15 from the field. But it's a new testament against, more than likely, she'll be up against Kyara Frames, who is 11th right now in the American East, scoring just a little over 11 points a game.
Definitely so. She is the only member of the Albany Great Danes right now who has a double-digit scoring average right now this season.
Yeah, only 11.2. She just came off a personal best, 25 points versus Canisius, and that was I believe that it was on Thanksgiving of last year.
That was November 28th.
November 28th. I believe that was after Thanksgiving, but still. Stony Brook, they're hungry to come in for another win. Their last win didn't come until was at New Hampshire on January 12th, and then they took that week off, lost to Maine. Now you go back 4 days later against your rival you haven't beaten 3 years.
Definitely so. There's a lot of determination that Stony Brook is trying to end this drought, and hopefully they'll get the job done after all these years.
So talking about the last 5 games that Stony Brook has played Albany, Stony Brook has lost all 5. The last appearance was last year on January 27th, 2018. They lost 64-58. Then 17 days later on January 10th, 2018, they lost by 4, 72-68. Then the following year in 2017, on February 4th, they lost 75-57. Then the matchup prior to that, January 7th, 2017, they lost by 10, 64-54. And then prior to that, in 2016, on February 17th, they lost 62-49. But then again, Stony Brook, they have a lot of seniors on the team. And it starts with the three-headed monster of Shorty Johnson, Adi Pagan, and you might as well put Oksana Gucci-Provencher on that list now.
Definitely so. As you recall, their last conference win at New Hampshire was on Oksana Gucci-Provencher's birthday, and she definitely made a monster performance out of that.
And Stony Brook, even though they're playing Albany is hot. They've won the last 2 games, both in conference play against UMass Lowell, 63-56. That was on the 16th of January. And then just this past weekend against UMBC in a double-digit win, 64-44. So Stony Brook may have their hands full. We don't know what defense they have planned, but if it's something like what Stony Brook played against Hartford, they may be in trouble.
Yeah, probably so. The fact is, Stony Brook and Albany are tied for the same conference record right now. Stony Brook currently owning that tiebreaker due to the overall record.
Yeah, so right now, as you said, they are tied in conference at 3-2, right behind Maine and also Hartford, who is just ahead of them. And Hartford beat Stony Brook badly here on the first game of 2019 back in January 2nd, a 64-36 loss. But that was just a low statistic at this point. But let's get your starting lineups for the Stony Brook Seawolves in just a little bit. We have 30 seconds until we are going to get to the national anthem. So let's get into the lineup as quick as we can. Starting at the senior guard, Shorty Johnson, the point guard. Third in the conference, 16.8 points per game, 8.2 assists, 4.4 rebounds. And then you have the guard freshman, Annie Ward, who may be the American East Freshman of the Year candidate. She's only at 4.8 points a game, 1.4 assists, and 2.5 rebounds. Then you have the shooter/defender at the guard forward spot, Haley Zeiss, 4.3 points a game, 1.8 assists, and also just a shade under 4 rebounds a game. Then on the forward, Oksana Gucci-Provencher, she continues to evolve in this offense, 8 points a game, 1.2 assists, and 4.8 rebounds. Then down at the big Post, that's what I like to call. India Pagan, the sophomore, averaging 12.8 points, 1.5 assists, and 6.2 rebounds. As we are just about to get ready for the national anthem, so we will rise, take a second, and we'll get back to you in about a minute.
Playing our national anthem, being performed tonight by the Spirit of Stony Brook and band.
And we are back here on YouTube stream. Jim Ferchland, Zach Wilson here beside me. And let's go through the lineup so far for the Albany Great Danes, the opposition. It is Kiara Frames, the leading scorer on this team. She's only a sophomore guard position where she averaged 11.8 points and 4.2 rebounds. Then at the other guard is Kefira Stokes, the redshirt sophomore, averaging just about 4.5 points a game, along with 2.6 boards. Then at the forward spot is Amanda Cansey, the redshirt junior, second in scoring in this team, as 8.2 points a game and also 4.9 rebounds. She had her career high 19 points at Monmouth, which wasn't too long ago, and that was actually last year when it happened, not this season. Then Heather Forster at the forward, she's a senior forward, 7.9 points along with 7.5 rebounds. So she get a lot, like we also said. During the radio show on Sunday night, McComb alluded to us saying that Albany is a team that likes to play physical down low and get points in the paint, and that looks like where Heather Foster does most of her job. And then you have Alexi Schechter, the guard, the senior center, 7.5 points a game, along with 4.3 rebounds. So this team, they can rebound the ball pretty well, and you can't really underestimate it since the rivalry game. What are you anticipating from today, especially with maybe Jarrell Matthews back in this lineup?
Well, it definitely could be a tough matchup looking in. Both teams will definitely get very aggressive, trying to do very well to get shots in, and who knows how much more it'll lead to.
Yes, and earlier in the year, for Stony Brook, a little factoid for them, they were hot as a firecracker starting when they won their first 10 games in a row to round the program's best start in the D1 era, and they have just been sensational with Shorty Johnson breaking the American East Conference single assist record in a game where she dropped 15 assists back when they played Georgia Southern when they blew them out. That was on November 20th where she dropped 15 dimes, and we know that she could possibly drop more depending on how much they're up.
Yeah, and you know she's an excellent three-point shooter as well. She does well.
And your head coach for Stony Brook is, of course, Caroline McCombs in her 5th season at 78-63. And then for Albany is Colleen Mullen at 6-2 in her first season here with the Great Danes. So they are getting ready for the starting lineups here. Haley Zeiss's name is being introduced. We saw her come out hot in the past 2 games, but then her defense is really the factor if the Stony Brook wants to play well and perform. Sanaguchi Provenche, on her birthday previously, she dropped 29 points and 12 rebounds, and that was an absolutely fantastic performance, probably the best performance of her career by far. And she is capable of doing a lot of things where it comes shooting from the perimeter, blocking shots, getting rebounds, and even passing the ball.
And here we have Jarrell Matthews.
And we have Jarrell Matthews in the starting lineup. Very good call. And welcome back, Jarrell Matthews. She hasn't played
since December 11th against Iona.
December 11th against Iona. Thank you, Zach. And welcome back to the lineup. Jarrell Matthews. This will be a spark plug after falling to Maine. And this is going to be a very exciting matchup with her back in the line as a senior from Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, she's definitely done well when she's very healthy. And now that she's back, who knows what she's capable of.
And she is around 16 points a game as well. She has missed a single amount of games. She has missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games this year. And Stony Brook only has 4 losses. An absolutely tremendous effort from this team all season long so far without one of their star players. As Stony Brook is getting ready in the huddle, and we are about to get both teams are actually in the huddle at the moment. So, Zach, Jarrell Matthews back on the floor. It's a positive advantage for Stony Brook. Back against Albany to start off just at the beginning of the semester for the spring. And it should be exciting. And you know what? Pretty much this crowd is amped up as soon as she was introduced.
It's definitely telling me. I knew that scoreboard definitely had it right that Matthews was returning.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And we are awaiting for the referees to get together. As you see, Shorty Johnson, Jarrell Matthews, Indy Pagan, Haley Zeiss, and Oksana Gucci-Provenche will start for the Seawolves. The Seawolves are wearing white along with red stripes on their trousers, and they also have red jersey letters and last names. For Albany, they are wearing all purple with yellow and white trouser stripes, along with the outline of their jerseys is yellow with white inside lettering, and they are pretty much all purple going on, as it will be Oksana Gucci-Provenche along with Heather Forster, who are tip it off here at midcourt. Refs are here. I'm ready. Zach's ready. YouTube stream is ready. We're ready for the Albany Stony Brook rival, and Albany will take it from there. It is Stokes with it. She dishes it off to Frames. Back to Stokes, who gives it back to Schechter at the top of the key. Back to Frames on the left wing, who dishes it back to Forster. Oh, and Shorty Johnson took a tumble, got a screen, and Frames lays it in for the right-hand layup. 2-0 Albany. And yes, you can see they're delivering that press somewhat Hartford did, and we see that wrist is wrapped on the left hand, the right hand, of Jarrell Matthews. Matthews gets it back to Zeiss, top of the key, gives it back to Gucci-Provenche. Johnson has it, going towards the top of the key, dribbling right, crossover, step back, had a lot of room, didn't take it. Zeiss has it at the wing for 3. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by, that was Stokes, who gives it to Frames. Frames dribbles it, gives it to Schechter. Schechter to Cansey. Gives it back to Stokes, who gives it back to Schechter. Schechter lays it with the right contested in front of Oksana Gucci-Provenche, and it's 4-0 Albany. 8:57 left to go in the first quarter. Matthews gives it to Johnson. Johnson gives it to Gucci-Provenche at midcourt. Then passes to her right to Matthews, and then back to Johnson at the top of the key. Johnson gives it back to Matthews, who gives it back to Zeiss. Gucci-Provenche back to Johnson on the dump-off. Johnson going right behind the back. Good hesitation. Pagan in the post with the right hand. Got it to go off the glass. 4-2 Albany. 8:29 left to go in the first quarter. Frames gives to Stokes. And it's a wild pass, and it went right to us. But Frames recontrols it for Albany. Going to the right, finds a screen from Schechter. Frames is going to use it. Passes it out. She'll give it to Forster. Forster, nice pass to Schechter. Schechter stays with it. An offensive rebound. That was by Cansey. Can't get it. And a rebound by Oksana Gucci-Provenche. Back to Johnson. Johnson passes the timeline. She dribbles to her right. She's going to take the 3. A wild shot way off. And it's going to be rebounded by Pagan. Pagan back to Johnson. Johnson take another 3. No good. And rebounded by Jarrell Matthews on the offensive glass. And she can't make the offensive layup on the right side, but she's accustomed to doing that. Long rebound from pass. That was a pass from Frames to Stokes, and Stokes traveled.
Defeat. That was defeat.
The feet move from Stokes, and she could not keep it together as Stony Brook gets the ball back. Gucci-Provenche gives it to Johnson. Johnson to Matthews. Matthews has it. Bad pass, and she's able to keep it away. They got 2 seconds to get it past half court, and they just don't get it in time. 20 seconds as Johnson was just about to pass the timeline, but just a tad late. 7:35 left in the first quarter. Frames gives it. That is to Cansey. Cansey to Schechter. Schechter dribbling to her left. Give it to Frames on the wing. Get the screen. Frames, step back. Finds Canty in the corner for three. Bottom. Knocks it down, 7-2. Great Danes lead, 7-12 left to go here in the first quarter. Bad pass from Johnson, ill-advised. And it is into the hands of Schechter. Schechter, and that was to Stokes. Stokes tried to squeeze in and thread the needle, and it was tipped away by Stony Brook back to Albany. Inbounding it is that's Canty in the corner, being contested. Here's Frames going to her right, get the screen from Schechter. Crossover to her left, gives it back to Forster, and Forster is fouled either by Matthews or Pagan. And just so you know, this is YouTube stream. We have no breaks. You will be with us for the whole hour and 45 minutes. We'll come back. We'll be live this entire time. Mackenzie Boucher will check in for India Pagan for the Seawolves. As Canty will inbound it, she feeds it to Schechter. Schechter then gives it back to Stokes. Nice pass and over the hands of Forster. And a turnover back to the Stony Brook Seawolves.
Way high.
And checking in for Albany, that will be number 10 for the Great Danes. And that will be Patricia Conroy, the sophomore guard out of Staten Island, New York. And she'll check in. Matthews gives to Johnson. Johnson breaks the press at the top of the key. Has it. Gives it to Gucci Papache. Pump fake, and she did shuffle her feet a bit, and that's a travel. Misses the jump shot anyway. It'll be Albany ball. 6:35 left to go here in the first quarter. Albany up 7-2. Canty inbounds it to Frames. Frames has it with her right hand. Gives it back to Canty on the left. Good defense by Zeiss. She feeds it to Schechter. Schechter top of the key. Dumps it up back to Frames. Frames to her right. He finds Canty again in the corner from deep. No good. And a strong rebound. Oh, it's a tie-up between Matthews and Forster between that. And you can see that wrist doesn't look like it's bothering her. If she was able to fight that against a strong Heather Foster, who is weighted at 6'2". And if she can battle against that, she can battle up against pretty much anyone.
Definitely so.
Gucci Pomachet inbounds to Johnson. Johnson then back to Matthews. Matthews to her right. Bad pass. And it was tipped away by Forster. Here's Frames. Frames going to pull it from the elbow. And nothing but the bottom. 9-2 Albany. Frames, that's her second bucket of the night. She's got 4. Johnson takes it from the top of the key. She finds a nice pass to Gucci Pomachet. Matthews from deep. Short, no good. And it's be off the foot of Zeiss. Zeiss hits the floor hard. She's been hitting the floor hard all year. Frames, then feeds it to Stokes in the left corner. Back to Forster, who gives it back to Conroy. Frames from the corner. Got it to go. 12-2 Albany. And McCombs doesn't like what she sees, and I don't either. And it'll be a timeout from Stony Brook. It will be a full timeout. And so far, Albany coming to strike that left-hand corner has been the killer for Stony Brook. It's been the Achilles heel so far in these first 5 minutes.
Believe me, I'm already starting to get annoyed about how even Albany wants to do full court pressure on Stony Brook.
It's exactly similar to what Hartford has done. What Hartford did in their matchup back on the first day of January 2nd of 2019. Hartford won by 28. And also you cannot even minus that Sierra DaCosta half-court three-pointer to end the half, putting them up by 11, 31-20. But now Stony Brook has another animal. You have a little bit bragging rights on the line. You're down 10 already. It's not terrible. They've had some shots, but then that they've been going for the middle to break that press. But you can see the 4 has been there to deflect the ball, and that's what causing turnovers for Stony Brook.
Well, it's all that pressure that the full court of Albany is trying to exert.
Absolutely, and looks like McCombs is going to take her time. So is Moen, and Moen in her first year against Stony Brook. So far, you can see that they have Stony Brook's number right now. You know, Kyra Frames, she has 7 actually now after that three-pointer in the corner. And you know what? If she's going to get hot early, she's the leading scorer for the team. It could be a long night for Stony Brook.
Definitely so. Let's see that.
I will get Sidearm Sports so we can get the numbers here and show you what is going on at the moment. And thank you, Brian.
Let's hear it one more time for Christy.
Thank you, Brian. And Looking at what we have at the moment, points in the paint, Albany is up 4-2. And then points off turnovers, there you have it, 5-0. Albany leads in that category. And starting at the moment, only shooting 16%. Meanwhile, Albany red hot at 63.
I can definitely see how much Albany is trying to gain the upper hand.
Yes, indeed. So we are waiting as Janae Cox will check in for the Seawolves, as Boucher will stay in, and we are waiting for the personnel to come in for Albany. We do have a new player checking in for the Great Danes. That will be Cheyenne Canada. We will have Stokes, who stays in. Then you have Heather Forster, Diana Frames, and Samantha Kent. That will be Patricia Conroy. Kansas will take a breather. You can see they have the two people. They have three in the front court for the Albany Great Danes on the Seawolves here in this press. So it may be tough to see where they end up here.
The way I see it, Stony Brook should probably do the same thing on Albany if Albany's going to do it to them.
Well, got to play fire with fire.
Definitely so.
Cox feeds it to Johnson. Johnson picked up a dribble. Cox has it. And it's stolen by Stokes. Stokes has it right on Cox with the left-hand layup. No good. Good defense there by Cox. But offensive rebound by Frames of Albany. Frames feeds it to Conroy on her left. Back to Canada, top of the key. She'll dish it back to Frames. Screen from Canada on the right. Stokes, that's Frames. Frames has it. Dishes it to Canada from the elbow. Canada going with the right, with the left hand. Fouled by Gucci Provenche. Going up for the layup, and she'll go to the line for two.
Apparently, Gucci Provenche was getting a little too defensive on that.
And looking at Cheyenne Canada, she is averaging just a shade under 8 points a game. Along with her foul shooting, she is 19 of 41, only a 46% foul shooter this season. She takes two dribbles, spins the ball, takes a slow hesitation, and kind of an ugly free throw there between the glass and the back iron, and it's off. India Pagan will check back in. Gucci Provenche will take a seat for the Stony Brook Seawolves. And the second free throw is up, and it's good this time. So she does usually break even on free throws. If she has 46%, she usually makes one and splits the other. Matthews gets it from Johnson. Matthews has to get a pass half court, and she does just in time, and then dumps it off to Johnson. Johnson crossing over, dribbling to her right, trying to find Matthews. She does. Gives it to Pagan, elbow. Wild pass off the rim, but stays in the hands of Boucher. Boucher then turns it over, gives it back to Frames. Frames dribbling with the right, full head of steam. Gives it back to Stokes, and it's picked her pocket by Johnson, but it stays with Albany.
At least it didn't manage to.
A little bit of a televised pass, teleframe pass there by Matthews. Frames will inbound it to Canada, who gives it back to Forster. Forster back to Frames on the left wing. Canada trying to box her, give herself position. And a long cross-court pass to Conroy. Back iron, no good. Good rebound there by Frames. It might have been off her. And it will stay with Frames and Albany. Man, they say Boucher touched it last.
It's hard to tell who did. I couldn't tell who.
Yeah, it's one of those when you hit it from getting it and then you hit it from behind. Looked like Boucher got the last hand on it. Frames will inbound it to Forster. Forster going left, almost traveled, kept her pivot. And she was bumped by Pagan. And Pagan, that will be her second foul already of the night. That'll force bring Keena Smith this early into this one. Keena Smith, she has been decent this year. She hasn't got a lot of playing time, but she does have a solid mid-range jump shot. Frames inbounds it to Canada. Canada to Forster. Forster almost hit it from the underneath the rim, and it's rebounded by Smith, who gives it to Johnson. Johnson crosses to her left, finds Matthews on the left wing, dribbles to her right, finds Boucher top of the key, back to Cox opposite wing. Smith at the top of the key, dumps it off to Johnson. Johnson going to the right, switches to the left, and can't get the layup, rebounded by Forster. Frames has it, dishes it to Stokes in transition. She's on the left, finds Conroy again. Here's Frames, back to Conroy in the wing, and she definitely traveled.
Yep, and that's what they called.
And coming in for Albany will be Deja Williams, along with Alexi Schechter, who checks back in. And for Stony Brook, Janae Cox will take a seat, and Haley Zeiss will come back in. 13-2 Albany up, 3:45 left to go here in the first. Johnson dribbles to her left, finds Zeiss. Zeiss takes a couple of dribbles, going to the right, trying to find a spot for Johnson. She does. Here's Matthews in the corner from deep. Short, no good. Rebounded by Frames. Frames gives it to Schechter. Schechter, who gives it to Williams. Back to Conroy. Canada at the top of the key. Gives it to Frames. Frames, she has a look. She won't take it. She dribbles right on Matthews. Crossover, step back jumper, and that was nice. Got to create a little bit of separation on Matthews, and Frames buries it. She's got 9. 15-2. Johnson has it. She'll feed it to Zeiss in the left wing. 2 dribbles, and back to Johnson, top of the key. Johnson, pump fake on Canada, and there you have to start to double the first person on that wing, just exactly what Hartford did. They're going to let Johnson shoot. That was Matthews who shot that 3, and she buries it. Welcome back, Jarrell Matthews. She knocks down a 3 to cut the deficit to 10. 2:31 left in the first. 15-5, Albany leads. Schechter back to Canada and stripped away by Zeiss. Zeiss has it open for it. This is at the Johnson for the transition layup, and it looked like it was going to be too long. Johnson gets it to go. That is her first bucket of the night.
Let's see if something happens from here on out.
Johnson has 2. Conroy to Canada on the left wing. I'm sorry, that's Williams. Schechter driving on Smith with the right. She is stripped, and it will stay with the Albany Great Danes. Good defense there by Smith, and we have a slew of substitutions coming in for the Great Danes. It will be Stokes checking back in, along does Amanda Cansey, and we also have Heather Forster coming back in. So most of the starters will check back in for Albany. Good position there by Forster, and stripped away again by Smith, and a foul will be called on Smith. It was a late call. Looked like she did get most of the ball, but you could see by the reaction, Smith knows she got some contact.
Apparently, it seemed that way that her hand was commingling with the opponent's hand.
Yes, indeed. Now going to the line will be Forster for the Great Danes. And the first one is up, and just in and out, no good for Forster on the year. She is also struggling 44% from deep, so she more likely may split this one from the free throw line. The second one is up, and back iron, no good. And looks like a lane violation will be on Stony Brook. So one more free throw for Forster.
If they let that be, they would have gotten the ball back.
And Forster, she is a local, not too far away from here, from Huntington, New York.
Yeah, not that far away from me either.
Yeah, you're a Comac native. I'm a Center Age native. We're not too far away. Forster, the third one, and still can't get it to go. Strong rebound by Keena Smith.
Don't matter that lane violation now.
Johnson behind the back, passes the timeline, goes crossover on Stokes. Have to go in with the left hand, flips up a wild shot, and that'll be rebounded by Schechter of Albany. Gives it to Frames. Frames dribbling to the left side. Going, that is Cansey on the left. She's doubled. Back, oh, it's a great pass there by Forster, who gives it to Stokes for the wide open layup. 17-7, Albany leads, 1:30 left in the first. Johnson crosses over once again from that right to left on Frames. Johnson dribbling to the right, dishes it to Matthews, who gives it to Zeiss on the left wing. Dribbles 3-4 times, picks up her dribble. Nothing there. Back to Johnson on the left wing. To Keena Smith. She has that jumper, and too strong. And that'll be a foul on Boucher going on the over the back loose ball foul against Cansey.
So just trying to get that ball.
Indeed. It looks like Albany is winning the rebounding battle early in this one. Let's get a gander at the stats for where they stand at the moment in the rebounding category. At first, they were knotted up at, it's
10-6.
It was 4.
Albany
now it's
on
10-6
rebounds.
Albany in favor. And Stony Brook is now in the bonus. So Albany will have the ball to shoot free throws for the rest of the quarter.
And yet no fouls on Albany.
No fouls on Albany. They have been playing great defense. Stony Brook has been putting some difficult shots up. They just haven't gotten in.
Well, that full court pressure continues to be another reason why.
Stony Brook only shooting 25% from the field. 3 of 12 in the first quarter. Albany a solid 7 of 13, 53.8.
I want to know how much pressure that Albany intends to continue to put up.
Exactly. The free throw is up, and it's no good by Cansey. And let's look at Cansey's foul shooting this season. She's been solid, 73%, 16 of 22, make that 16 of 23. The second free throw is up, and got it to go that one. 18-7, 1:08 left in the first quarter. Here is Matthews. Matthews dribbling to the left, crosses to the right, passes it, squeezes it to Boucher, who gives it to Johnson. Johnson dribbling to the left, crosses back to her right at the top of the key. And dribbling back to the right, looking for something available. Nothing's really there. Dumps it off to Zeiss, who dribbles it to the right. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Matthews from deep, and welcome back again.
Second three-pointer of the night.
Second three-pointer. She's got 6. And you can tell it, Matthews with that wrist now, and she steals it. It was intended for Canada. Here's Matthews with the left hand. She is fouled by Frames in transition, and Matthews go to the line for 2. So Matthews, welcome back. She's already leading the team at 6 points. This could be a fire starter for Stony Brook.
Well, you know how she's always been doing great at stealing balls as well throughout the last few weeks.
Yeah, and it's always on that wing. If she's able to cheat on that wing, she more than likely will take it to the hole and lay it up for 2. Matthews, the first free throw is up, and it's good. Money. You can tell also with the wrist, even though it is her right wrist, you can tell there's a little bit more elevation on the shot. So more than likely it was more of a push shot. This one, it just follows through.
Definitely.
You can see a bit of more trajectory change where she had it the first time, and now she's starting to really have confidence in more of an arc. And that one rattles in for the second one. She's got 8, is Jarrell Matthews.
That's her being herself. First game back, it's definitely working so far.
And very nicely done. Matthews on the year, 82% from the field, for the free throw line. And it is a 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock here for the first quarter. Here's Frames. She's going to use all the clock she can. Gets a screen from Schechter. Dishes it to Conroy in the corner, way off. And it's rebounded by Forster. Forster with the left hand. And it will stay. And as a shot clock violation, it never hit the rim. And 1.7 will be left here in the first quarter. And Stony Brook will take a quick timeout, it looks like.
1.7 left.
In the first quarter. So they won't take a timeout. They thought the quarter was over.
We're going to try and work this quickly.
And let's see what Stony Brook can do. They actually put 2.8 left on the clock.
They had to get around this full court pressure first if they hope to make a long three-pointer half court.
Expect Matthews or Johnson to take this heave.
Well, they're right there to take it from Boucher when she'll throw it back. And there's Johnson.
Here's Johnson. Johnson will take it. Here it is from about half court. And that's going to be way wide left of the hoop. And not a bad quarter to end up. Matthews finishes strong, almost in double figures with 10. But she has 8 points. 18-12. What you see in that first quarter?
Well, it was definitely troublesome for Stony Brook at first because of the full court pressure. But now they're starting to pull back.
Well, you can tell Albany, they're being pressured. They're looking for that go-to in that far right-hand corner for that three-pointer. They made 3 of them in that first quarter. That's already half of their points. You take that away, they're down, and you take away 9 points from Albany right there. And Stony Brook has a 3-point lead. That isn't the case. The case being, from what I saw, is the rebounding category. I mean, not a lot of offensive rebounds, but you can see that for Stony Brook, but Albany is not going to let Stony Brook bully them on the rebounding category.
Indeed.
So, to end your first quarter for the Seawolves, you are in the starting lineup at the moment. It is Shawty Johnson. She has 2 points, and Jarrell Matthews, she leads the way with 8. And for Albany, Samantha Cantor, she has 4. Erica Schechter, she has 2. Alexi Schechter, she has 2. And Stokes has 3.
Mm-hmm.
In the starting lineup.
So it's been a 10-5 run for Stony Brook so far.
Yeah, it hasn't been terrible. I mean, Stony Brook did make up for in that second quarter. I mean, in that second part of the first quarter. And thank you. So where they finished, they were 1 of 6. They finished 4 of 13. So they shot a little under 33%. at about 31%. Albany finishing just under 50% at 46.7. But then again, you look at the rebounds, 12-6 in favor of Albany, with 5 on the offensive pass for Albany and only 2 for Stony Brook.
Well, Stony Brook needs to work its way through. The fact is they have a lot of chances to get offensive rebounds if they really work their way around it.
Yes, indeed. And if Keena Smith can get involved early, she can pretty much play the role of India Pagan. I mean, she's a feisty defensive rebounder, one with an offensive presence. She has a mid-range jumper like India Pagan has. And then you can also tell she can play defense and pass the ball a little bit as well. So you really have a lot of depth at that position, along with the same identity for Stony Brook.
Yes, that's how you can put it that way.
Don't give me that, because you know you've seen it. You've seen Keena Smith take that jumper from about the elbow and extend it, and she can be able to do that. India Pagan can do the same. She can also finish down low. I mean, you look at a very similar play style for those two players.
I guess it's been a little while since we've seen so much of Keena Smith in action. I'll have to agree with you on that then.
Absolutely. And taking it is Frames. Frames gives it to Stokes. Stokes has it. She'll give it to Schechter at the elbow. Gives it back to Stokes. Stokes, she did shuffle her feet. She traveled. Let's look at the turnovers. So they turned the ball over 6 times. That's a 7 turnovers so far in this first half. Stony Brook, they also have 6 as well. But now winning in that category as they just turned the ball over, it was Albany. No look pass from Johnson to Boucher to break the press. Who gives it back to Matthews and back to Johnson at the top of the key. Johnson to the right, gives it to Zeiss, dribbling to her left, top of the key, back to Matthews. Matthews then to Smith. Smith to Boucher, who gets it back to Zeiss. Here's Keena Smith, back to Johnson. Johnson at the left-hand wing, dribbles, go breaking down her defender, pass it to Boucher. Boucher with the jumper, no, not even close, and rebounded by Frames. Frames on the left side, dribbling to the right. She has no one covering her, and here's Forster. Forster dumps it off to Conroy. Conroy to Schechter at the elbow. Schechter keeping her pivot, going left on Boucher. Stops, hook shot on the right. Good footwork, and then rebounded by Forster. Forster on Keena Smith. Good defense, and it's hauled in by Matthews. And Matthews then will feed it to Johnson. She passed the timeline. Johnson to her left. Dish it to her right. Finds Boucher. Boucher on the elbow. Finds Matthews for 3. No good. And a long rebound back to Boucher for Stony Brook. Dishes to Matthews, back to Johnson. Matthews on the left wing. Feeds it to Boucher, top of the key. And then back to Zeiss. Zeiss tried to feed it to Matthews, but it was tipped away by Conroy.
Well, when you don't see Albany getting the full court pressure on Stony Brook, that's when they take the rebound back defensively. That is why they're having a little room now.
Zeiss will inbound it. Finds Johnson in the corner. Johnson has it. Wide open Matthews from the wing. No good. Long rebound's going to be a fight. And it was off the hands of Albany. Great job by Keena Smith bouncing it off Conroy just before going out of bounds.
Yeah, that was an excellent job.
Nicely done.
A new shot clock.
New shot clock. Yes, indeed, for Stony Brook. Smith to Matthews. Gives it back to Johnson on the left. Dishes it back to Matthews. Zeiss top the key. Back to Boucher at the wing. Dumps it off to Johnson. Dribbling right. Going right around Schechter. She's blocked. And it will be a far rebound for Frames. The foot race between Frames and Matthews. And Matthews pokes it away. And Zeiss controls it. Who gives it back to Matthews. Good defense there by Matthews at their second steal of the night already.
Wasn't easy, but they got through.
Johnson back to Matthews. Matthews then to Boucher, top of the key. Dribbles to her left. Holds on to it. And was ill-advised backcourt violation. And Johnson will hold it from there. And miscommunication there from Boucher and Johnson. Johnson's explained to Boucher that she's not happy about it.
Yeah, I can definitely see how they're not really in agreement. They just got to have better communication or else they won't get the shots they need.
Not at all.
And Chance Cherry will check in.
Cherry will check in for the Seawolves.
Johnson.
And Johnson will take a seat. Frames dribbles to her left. She likes to dribble to this left side with her right dribble. Of the wing, finds a screen from Canada, who newly checks in. Cherry, who gives it. Now it's Stokes with Matthews on her on the left wing. Now here's Forster. Good give and go. And Stokes is able to keep it in. Here's Frames. Frames from the top of the key from deep. That's beautiful. 21-12, Albany up. 7:13 left before we hit the first half. Cherry gives it to Matthews. Matthews, a long pass to Zeiss from the wing. A long arc, no good. Offensive rebound by Matthews. She's accustomed to doing that. Matthews has it. Pass to post. Boucher, give and go. Matthews with the left, no good. And it will be long rebound to Cansey for Albany. Frames now dribbling to the right. Gives it to Forster. Stokes, then back to Cansey. She may have traveled hop. And no one covering Forster on the left block, and she is wide open for the left-handed layup. 23-12, Albany. And Stokes gets her first basket of the night. Forster gets her first basket of the night with 2 points. Sherry to Matthews. Matthews pump fakes. Goes to the left. Here's Keena Smith with that nice jumper, and that's nothing but the bottom.
I thought that was close to hitting the rim.
Identical to Pagan right there.
And Keena Smith is in right now.
Yeah. And here's Canada. Gives it to Stokes. Back to Cansey on the left wing. Schechter stripped away by Cherry. Cherry had it. Couldn't get it, and that might be a foul on Smith. Good hands on the ball. Here's Canada with a little jumper by herself. She says, I'm going to give you a taste of your own medicine. The bigs can shoot it from mid-range. Canada, that's her third point of the night. Here's Boucher. Boucher to Zeiss. Zeiss has it from the wing. Wide open, nothing but net.
You leave her wide open, that's going to be a problem.
Definitely for sure. Zeiss, that's her first basket of the night. She's got 3. 25-17, Albany up. 5:32 left in the first half. Here's Forster on the elbow. Wide open Frames from the wing. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Matthews. Matthews has it. Gives it to Cherry. Cherry top of the key. Cherry then dishes it to Boucher. Boucher dumps off the Cherry. Cherry dribbling left. Finds Matthews from the wing. She stopped, hesitated. And here's Zeiss down the corner. 8 in the shot clock. She picked up her dribble. And here is Smith. Smith has it with the jumper. Not even close. And it's going to be a shot clock violation. Broken play there by Stony Brook. And a media timeout now between both teams. So 4:55 left to go. Jerome Matthews is starting to get into a groove on both sides of the basketball, defensively and offensively. And then again, also, you can see Haley Zeiss knocking down an open 3. And she's open, like you said, and no one's on her, 70% of the time that's going in.
Yep.
As we are trying to see if we can fix any sound quality right now.
I don't see any problem.
Or low.
For more than a decade, the new renovated Holiday Inn Express Stony Brook has been the official hotel of the Stony Brook Seawolves. All students attending Stony Brook University, including friends and family, to the Stony Brook Student Discount at the Holiday Inn Express Stony Brook. Enjoy your stay with free pull-ups, breakfast buffet, high-speed wireless internet, and door-to-door shuttle service. Stay at the Holiday Inn Express Stony Brook and check out our fresh new home. Go Seawolves!
Hey there, Seawolves fans. I'm here with my friend Chloe, and Chloe, with the prettiest bow I've ever seen, has some 3 magic words for her to get you guys all up and excited for the game. Chloe, you want to tell them those words? Ready? Let's go Seawolves! All right, let's go Seawolves. Great job, Chloe. And here's Nick. You can win this game.
Good job, Chloe.
Since 1969, our facility in St. James has been providing the very best auto body work for all of Long Island. A car accident can be stressful. Let Sal's Auto Body take it off.
Well, here's a quick update. Stony Brook men's basketball. Last I checked, they have an 18-13 lead over New Albany with 7:27 to go in the first half.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, looking at it right now, it was an 8-point game. It was a 9-point game just to end the first quarter. And now Stony Brook's starting to get into a little bit of a groove. However, you can't leave wide open layups, and that's what Albany's gotten ever since.
And that's
especially when you're working on defense for 20, 25 seconds, and then 5 seconds on the shot clock, and you have a wide open layup for Heather Foster on the left side of the glass.
Yeah, that's why you got to get more aggressive. You just got to, force them to make their own mistakes. Yeah, a quick update, men's basketball, they're up 18-13.
18-13, the men are up. And actually, let's take a gander at those numbers. Yeah, let's look up on your computer. You can give the stats. How about that?
Yeah, you're the one running the computer.
Yeah. They get stat broadcast and
Apparently, this is for
Sidearm Sports. Huh?
this via Albany.
Now 2016.
That was 2016.
All right, now we're back here to resume play here in the women's game as Kiara Frames has it. She feeds it to Schechter. Schechter pass. That was a nice over the pass to Heather Forster for the layup, and Forster. And now she's got 4. Johnson breaks the press, going to the left. She has it. Stationary, then dishes it to Matthews, who gives it back to Johnson. And then Johnson will feed to Zeiss on the wing. Zeiss back to Johnson. Johnson had it, didn't take it. Here's Gucci Provenche. Provenche going right at the cup, off the side of the backboard, trying to get her own rebound, knocked it out on herself, and it'll be Albany basketball.
You couldn't tell whether or not she was trying to get it to Haley Zeiss, but it was lost in translation.
Yes. And it'll be Canty inbounding it to Frames. Frames to the right. As coming in for the Great Danes is Kuzma Aslan for Albany. Here is Schechter. Schechter going to the left on Provenche. Blocked by Gucci. And it will go to the Seawolves. And you can see that wingspan by Gucci Provenche. She has kept her arms out and got a piece of the ball.
Her strength right there. Her stature gives her the good amount of ability to make blocks.
And she can, and I think she is leading the team. Yes, so that's her 27th block of the season. The second in blocks is begun with 8. So, good defensive prowess by Provenche this year. As Johnson almost breaks down the defender, and Albany is playing a 2-3 zone, trying to really limit the perimeter shooting for Stony Brook. Here's Johnson, gets a screen from Zeiss, and here's Smith. Smith take that jumper short, and then rebounded by Schechter for Albany. Framed in transition, back to Schechter. Schechter to Canty, to Aslan. Aslan has it. Here's Canada, who checks back in for Albany. She dumps it off to Canty. Canty on the right wing, who dishes it off to Frames. Frames has 8 in the shot clock. Gets a screen from Schechter. And a layup, wild layup, and she draws the foul. Don't know on who. It might be on Smith or Matthews. It will be on Smith. Oh, it'll be on Alexandra Gucci Provenche. That's her second foul. A little risky here in this first half, but nothing too dangerous. So it's 2 fouls, and Boucher will come back in. McCombs doesn't want to risk Alexandra Gucci Provenche getting into foul trouble. Free throw is up, and it's money for Kiara Frames. She is the leading scorer for this team. She has been the leading rebounder today, too. And Frames at the line this year, only 71%, very efficient. Not terrific, but good enough to be considered a solid foul shooter. Takes 2 dribbles, spins the ball, bends her knees, shoots it, and it's good. Frames has 13 points, leading all scorers, 14 points in tonight's game. Matthews trying to break the triple team, has it, and a push-off. So a timeout will be called by McCombs as Matthews dribbled himself into a triple team right in front of Albany's bench.
That's just the full court pressure that Stony Brook still is being forced into.
And it's Frames and Foster who both have 4 rebounds for the Great Danes in tonight's game. And looking at your Albany scores so far, Frames leading the way at 14 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, and 2 steals, only 1 foul. Then you have Stokes, who has 2 points in 13 minutes, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Amanda Canty has 4. Heather Forster has 4. Alexis Schechter has 2. And then you have Cheyenne Canada with 3. So you have 6 different players for Albany scoring. And for the Seawolves, you have more scoring. So you got Jerome Matthews in there with 8. And Matthews should actually get the ball back. So let's get back to play. Here's Johnson testing the limits and finds it right to the hands of Matthews. Matthews lost the ball penetrating. Off her knee, Matthews caught the ball right underneath the right-hand side and laid it up.
Yeah, that ball
She's
was,
a double figures with 10.
That ball was definitely on the ground.
Ball had some speed too. Matthews with the hand-eye coordination to keep it intact. Canada at the elbow to Forster. Into the corner is Frames. Frames back to Canada. Canada at the elbow. Here is Canty from the corner, way off the side of the backboard, and goes out of bounds. Not even close. Almost hit the shot clock. As Canty missed that shot pretty badly. And Boucher will inbound it and gives it to Johnson. Johnson testing it, going to the right on Stokes behind the back. And it was off the foot of Forster. Not going to call it. Here's Stokes. And here's Matthews. And it's poked away by Zeiss. But it's going to stay with Albany. And they more than likely don't have numbers now. 2 minutes left to go. Albany up 29-19. Here is Frames. Frames back to Forster. Forster then back to Frames at the wing. Gives it to Canada. Canada trying to get post position on Smith. She does with the left step back fadeaway. And it's no good off the backboard. No rib. Rebounded by Zeiss. And then Zeiss gives to Johnson. Johnson back to Matthews. Matthews on the three off the curl. No good. Rebounded by Forster. Forster now has 5 boards on the night. Stokes to Canty in the corner, who gives it to Forster top of the key. And then back to Frames at the wing. Then back to Stokes at the far left wing, who gives it to Canada. Canada on the left elbow. Stokes from the corner from deep. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Matthews. Matthews trying to push it in transition. It's a 3-on-1. Kid Johnson tested, and she is fouled hard by Canada.
That's what she was doing, drawing the foul.
Drawing the foul. We haven't seen Johnson really shoot the ball a lot because, you know, she will get her FGAs, but she has only taken 6 shots, only made 1 of them, and has not taken a single foul shot tonight, but this will be her first and second attempt. Johnson on the year from the line. 84%. 83.8 to be exact. 31 of 37. 2 dribbles, spins the ball. Johnson bends her knees and got it to go. First one. 9-point game, 29-20, 106 left to go before we hit halftime. Johnson again. 2 dribbles, spins the ball, and in and out, no good. Rebounded by Forster, who feeds it to Frames, and Frames passes the timeline. 1 minute exactly left here before we hit halftime. Good defense there by Zeiss. Who is it off? It's off Stony Brook. May have been off Zeiss or Boucher. Looks like it went off a foot, but no kickball violation.
Seemed like that way with Zeiss.
Frames will inbound it right in front of Stony Brook's bench. Gives it to Schechter. Schechter, good position was Forster, and Smith got all ball, but a foul is called. And that'll be a 3rd foul of the night.
I wonder what India Pagan is up to.
2nd foul of the night. My bad.
Well, Kean Smith has definitely been playing a lot. I wonder where India Pagan has been.
You want to stay Pagan for the whole second half. And you already have a minute in. No need to risk a 3rd foul. The free throw is up. Gets it to go with the first one from Forster. Forster on the night. She's got 5. Looking for her 6th. It is up, and it's good. It's an 11-point game. 31-20. 52.2 left in the first half. Zeiss dribbles. Back to Matthews. Matthews going with the left, being double-teamed. She sees Stokes behind her. And a foul. Is it a foul?
Looks like it's against Albany.
It's Stokes, a push. Didn't look like she pushed. Looking like it heard footsteps, but didn't really see a foul. And you can see the fans here for Albany don't like it. Zeiss will inbound it at half court. Gives it to Johnson. Johnson dumps it back off to Zeiss. Zeiss to Matthews, to Smith. Smith threw it right to the hands of Schechter. And it'll be a 5-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. 30 seconds left in the first half. 23 on the game clock for Albany. On the shot clock for Albany. Frames will take her time. It's the same exact score that ended in the Hartford first half.
Let's see if Stony Brook can change that.
Gets a screen from Conroy. Conroy has it. A Deep three from the wing. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Zeiss. 8 on the game clock. Here is Johnson. 5 seconds. She's going to take it. Heave it from 3. Got it to go. Nothing but the bottom from about 25 feet. And knocks it down at 31-23 will be her score. Johnson first 3 of the game, and it was a nice one. Pulling up from about 25 feet. It's an 8-point game.
Definitely could have come at a better time. They're keeping it a single-digit lead.
And Johnson, she's got 6 on the night, and I believe that is her first 3 of the game. Yeah, 1 of 4 from deep. And yes, she did have 1 free throw. And yeah, so 15 minutes left before we resume action. And so far, so it's been a nice game. 8-point game, nothing too drastic, thank you very much. And Stony Brook is down 8. Let's look at the numbers for what we have seen today between the teams, both teams. So Albany, they were shooting a hot 62%. They have now trailed down to 40.7, 11 of 27 from the field. However, Stony Brook, they still have not made double-digit field goals. They are 8 of 25, just exactly at 32%. If you do 8 times 4, 32, there you have your percentage right there. Three-pointers made, Stony Brook is winning that category. And also, as percentage-wise, they are 4 of 12, 33%. And then you have Albany at 3 of 10 at 30%. Free throws, Stony Brook 3 of 4. They have not attacked the basket a lot in the past 2 games. They only went to the line 5 times against Maine, and that resulted in a 14-point loss. However, Albany going to the line 10 times, they made 6. They're shooting 60%, while Albany is shooting 75%. Rebounds in that category, Albany winning in that one 19-16, as well as the offensive rebounds 6-5. Defensive rebounds, Albany is winning in that one 13-11. This game has not been tied once. No lead changes. Albany has led this entire single game.
Well, hopefully Stony Brook will be able to pull a big rabbit out of its magic hat in the second half.
Albany does lead in assists as well. They have 9, as the Seawolves have 6. Stony Brook has turned the ball over 11 times, mainly from that half-court pressure early in the first quarter, where they turned the ball over 6 times. Albany has 8 turnovers behind them. Bench points, not really a factor. Albany up 3-2. Blocks, Stony Brook has 3, while Albany has none at the points. And steals, Albany has 7, and mainly those coming from 3 players, 2 from Alexi Schechter, 2 from Kyara Frames, and 2 from Kafara Stokes. So a lot of defense has been involved from the Great Danes to start off, and more than likely that's why they've been winning this game so far.
Yep. You recall this being a score for Stony Brook 2 years ago in men's basketball, like in the semifinal.
Yes, and we still have to tell. I mean, you got to admit, Shorty Johnson has to get it going in the second half. But really, this game would not even be close if it wasn't for Jerome Matthews, who's leading the way with 11.
Yep.
10.
She's already made her presence known by returning with a strong 10 points.
Yeah, you take that away. This game is ugly. But she's been the driving force coming back, and she has been a contributing driving force all season. Well, most of the season she's been playing. She did miss 8 games, but still, she is leading the Stony Brook Seawolves with 10 points. And it's, yes, so I'm reading the wrong stat sheet. Yeah, so she has 10. Shorty Johnson, she has 6. And Haley Zeiss, she has a 3-pointer. Pagan, she has that layup. And Keenan Smith, she's got that jumper. And besides that, that's all the points Stony Brook's been able to put up in the first half.
Yeah, I guess this has been a little ugly for Stony Brook recently, but especially when you saw how bad it was against Hartford as well. I mean, like, both that game and this game right now is one of the reasons is because of that full court pressure. But Stony Brook does seem to be able to try and work their way out of it for now.
So let's look at some numbers about the Great Danes that we didn't get a chance to talk to you about before we started the game. So, like we said, they're 6-12, they're 3-2 in conference play, and ranked 3rd along with the America East in their standings. They're on a 2-game winning streak against UMass Lowell and UMBC. Nationally, sophomore guard Kyara Frames, who has proved herself in this one, as she leads the way with 14 points in all scores. She is first in the NCAA in minutes played per game at 38.84 in minutes played. NCAA minutes played per game, and 5th in minutes played at just a shade under 700 minutes this season.
Yeah,
She's playing 699 minutes and 9 seconds.
Well, you definitely know how much they want to use her, how much of a good driving force that she
And
is.
that might be difficult for Shorty Johnson. So we know that Kiera Frames, she has a full bar of stamina and energy, and it will be tough to tire her out. And then in the American East, Frames, she's third in 3-point field goals made with 40, and 3-point field goals made with 2.2 a game. And looking at what is brewing for the Seawolves. We don't really have any intel for the Seawolves, but I already told you what has happened.
Well, okay, so let's get to a quick update.
Oh, yeah, sorry, let's take an update for the men. Zach.
Right now, it's Stony Brook leads by 3 at halftime. And right now, UMBC and Vermont are pretty much tied up as well in men's basketball. Vermont and Stony Brook will face each other on Saturday in a crucial game. Right now, both of them are just like holding on barely. It's either a tie or a lead at halftime.
Not a bad efficiency from Stony Brook. 12 of 28 from the field. However, 3-pointers have been that's the cure. But look at Albany; they've also taken a lot of threes.
Yeah, they're both 27% on 3-pointers.
They're a combined 7 of 26.
Both Stony Brook and Albany both have 6 free throws made, but Stony Brook has 11 more attempts made, and Albany has 9 attempts made.
And your leading scorer for Stony Brook is no surprise Nakwasi Yeboah. But how about Jerron Cornish? 7 points. Also has 1 assist. Look at Yeboah. He's got 3 rebounds and 5 assists. So he could possibly have the first triple-double of this season. And the last person I think to have a triple-double was almost Jules Moore this year, who had 14 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and also had 4 steals. And I believe that was against a road team, but I know he was close to a triple-double. But Nakwasi Yeboah, he's a Lou Henson finalist. He's on the lookout. So you can watch out for Nakwasi Yeboah. Then you have Rizzuto for Albany. He's leading the way with 14 points.
Yeah, definitely. Rizzuto is doing well as a guard for Albany as of right now. His last basket in the game was a 3-pointer with 3:42 left to go. That closed the deficit to 2.
So 33-30, Stony Brook leads in men, while Albany leads 31-23 in tonight's women's game.
And Jerron Cornish was responsible for getting the last shot for Stony Brook. With 5 seconds left in the first half, Jerron Cornish got a layup, and it gave him 7 points on the night.
I call him lightning in a bottle because I watched him last year for a lot of games. He had that clutch 3 against St. Francis, PA, a game that I called. I was losing my composure because it was so loud in here I couldn't even hear myself speak. So I was practically screaming into the headset. And then you had Nakwasi Yeboah, drove it to the hoop, dumped it off Tyrell Sturdivant to give Stony Brook a 2-point lead. And then you had Braxton, I think it was Keith Braxton for St. Francis, PA. Took a 3 from 30 feet, missed. Stony Brook won 85-83 after being down 15 in the first half. So, little factoid and throwback there that I remember from last year. And Cornish can be clutch when he wants to, but if he's getting hot against a rivalry team, he could be the difference maker.
Well, he's trying to do everything he can in his final year at Stony Brook.
Yeah, 6:28 left before we hit.
So on the side note, it's pretty surprising that Vermont and UMBC are tied up at 32. Vermont was supposed to be a 14.5-point favorite coming into that game.
Yeah,
they must still be getting flashbacks of that
All right.
of that loss in the American East Championship.
So we have discussed the college basketball. If you haven't watched last night, since I watched it, Duke, for the 8th time this season, 2 freshmen have put up 25 points in R.J. Barrett and Zion Williamson. More likely to go 1 and 2 in this year's 2019 NBA draft in June. And they won 79-64 in Pittsburgh, with Jay-Z having a front seat looking to possibly recruit Zion Williamson to Rock Nation.
Definitely so. We know how much they would like to. They would yearn for him.
And the thing is with Zion Williamson, it's not just that he's a tremendous player. We know that you probably heard the athleticism, the freakish talent, but how about the player efficiency? And at halftime versus Pittsburgh, Stony Brook was up. Duke was up 44-25, and they had Zion Williamson had 19 points with a perfect field goal percentage of 9 of 9 from the field, and he went 1 of 1 from deep, and it was pretty fun to watch. Had one fast break dunk, and pretty much there it was solid. And Duke, they are still 2 in the nation. And Tennessee, with Admiral Schofield, who could be a lottery pick for the Volunteers, they're number 1 in the nation at the moment. And where they stand, I don't know if they're playing tonight, but
Well, I believe they are.
I know Kansas is playing Kentucky.
Yes, Tennessee is currently up by
Vanderbilt.
1 at Vanderbilt.
And my brother, shout out to Peter Ferchland, my brother did actually say that Vanderbilt could upset since it is on the road in the SEC where nothing is given.
Well, let's just take a quick look at what Vermont's record is. I mean, Vanderbilt's record is. They are 9-8, and one of their most notable wins of the year was when they defeated 18th ranked Arizona State on December 17th, and that was a team that just came off a fresh win against Kansas, who was number 1 at the time. So it could happen.
That's not bad. So we talked to you about college basketball. Let's get a little bit of the NBA. So Rockets up on the Knicks, 14-11, 5:15 left to go in the first quarter. And looking at your box score, how many points does James Harden have out of the 14? He's got 11. 3 of 8 from the field, 1 of 3 from deep, along with 6 rebounds and an assist in just 7 minutes of action. And then at the moment, you have the Raptors and the Pacers. Pacers up 46-38. No Kawhi Leonard tonight for the Raptors, so that could be a long night for the Pacers, a long night for the Raptors. And your leading scorers at the moment is Serge Ibaka with 10, 5 of 9 from the field. Miles Turner for the Pacers has 7 at 3 of 7 from the field. And your later games coming on for the NBA. Actually, we see all the NBA games. I might not get all of them. Okay, so we got a few games going on. So Rockets Knicks 16-13, Raptors Pacers 46-38. Cavs on top of the Celtics 19-18 at the moment. Nets on top of the Magic 21-16, and 24-22 the Heat lead the Clippers in the first quarter. And here's got a slew of games tonight. 5 more games have yet to be played. Well, 3 games getting started in the next few minutes at 8 o'clock. Hawks at Bulls. Hornets at Grizzlies, if you haven't known. Mike Conley and Marc Gasol are being shopped. Currently, possibly thinking about where they might go, but more than likely they won't finish the season in Memphis.
Yeah. So here's another update going on right now in Women's Basketball America East. Right now, New Hampshire is up against Hartford 25-23 at halftime.
Okay.
I mean, New Hampshire was killed by Stony Brook, and now New Hampshire's killing Hartford? I mean, well, they're up against Hartford, so how does that surprise you? Hartford's currently on top, undefeated, MIN tonight. And for Vermont, they traveled to UMBC tonight and defeated the Retrievers 58-44. And for Binghamton, the Bearcats, they traveled to UMass Lowell and defeated the Riverhawks 70-50. Pretty interesting slew of games that occurred later on today.
All right. Thank you for that update on the American East, Zach. And 2 more games for the NBA tonight. We have about 2 minutes until we resume, until we get to the second half of play. And the Pistons playing the Pelicans tonight. No Anthony Davis. He could be out 2 weeks with that finger injury. And then the Nuggets play the Jazz. So watch out for Rudy Gobert and Nikola Jokic tonight. That would be a fun duo between those 2 teams. And guess who is starting for the Pelicans tonight?
Who is it?
At center. Jahlil Okafor is starting
Jahlil Okafor
at center for the Pelicans tonight.
Oh, that's
So that may be fun and may be interesting to watch for sure. And any news, if you haven't heard about the MLB, 4 new inductees going into the Hall of Fame. 100% Mariano Rivera, the first to ever do so. Congratulations to the Sandman.
Unanimous.
And then
amazing.
unanimous, Mike Mussina, also with 86% going to the Hall of Fame, as well as Edgar Martinez, who just missed the cut last year, earned it this year, and of course, rest in peace, Roy Halladay, the pitcher from more than likely known as from Toronto and Philly as well, was killed in 2017 in a plane crash. However, he will be honored by his son when he is inducted in Cooperstown this upcoming summer. So that will be an emotional moment for everybody.
Yes, that's Barry Bonds once again delayed because of his drugs. All right, so we are about to resume action in the second half. Stony Brook will get the ball back as the jump ball was initially targeted to them. So that means they'll get the ball back. They're currently down by 8, and they're looking to make some big run here with any chance to win.
That's good. Yeah.
It's only a single digit lead for Albany, so that means Stony Brook is still well within their reach of trying to get back into this game.
As Zeiss will inbound it for the Seawolves, and Johnson will get it, gives it back to Matthews, and gives it back to Johnson. Johnson to Gucci Provenche, gives it back to Johnson, as Stokes almost stole it from Johnson on the pass from Gucci Provenche. Johnson still has it. Matthews almost lost the ball, being contested hard by, that was Forster. Forster blocks. Matthews going up to the left-hand layup. Frames, dishes it to Stokes. Stokes on the hesitation going right by Zeiss. Zeiss got a piece of it, and she blocks it. Rebounded by Johnson.
That's returning the favor.
Johnson, here's Zeiss. Zeiss on the left wing, picks up her dribble, has to give it back to Johnson. Johnson dribbles to her right, finds Gucci Provenche at the wing. She's going to take the contested three. No good. Offensive rebound by Matthews, puts it up.
Second chance opportunity that Matthews took advantage
Do
of.
they call that the Chicago drill, where you're supposed to lay it up without touching the floor on the ground? That's exactly what Jorel Matthews did. She's got 12 now on the night to lead the Seawolves. 31-25 as Stokes has it on the right wing. Gives it, as Frames gives it to Stokes. Back to Forster. Forster has it. Looking for the backdoor cut. Nothing there. Back to Stokes. Stokes will take the medium range jumper. Too strong. And that will be rebounded by Kennedy, but pushed away by Zeiss, but will stay with the Great Danes.
Well, Zeiss tried to keep her from getting that second chance shot right there, and she delays it.
And Frames will inbound it. Gives it back to Forster. Forster going right past everybody and gets the easy right-hand layup as Johnson went to go guard Frames in the corner and completely sagged off, and Forster had a wide-open layup. And Forster, she has 8 points on the night. Johnson has it, picks up a dribble, finds Gucci. Gucci, here's Pagan in the post with the left hand. Fouled by Forster going down. And Forster, that will be her second foul. And here comes Pagan, saving her for the second half.
Well, it's like, as you said, you need to keep her of it. They're going to try and make a breakthrough. And let's see if they can continue right here. First free throw is up, and it's good.
Here's India Pagan. Pagan has it. Knocks it down the second.
Puts it back to a 6-point game.
6-point game, 33-27. Here is Canada. Gives it to Stokes, who gives it back to Schechter, back to Frames. And Canada has it, going to her left, finding Stokes. She gets it. She's at the left wing. Finds a screen from Schechter. Stays to her right. Has it back to Canada. Good post position. Schechter with the hook shot. Got it to go right over Pagan.
Pagan did everything she could to get defensive on that.
She's got to be careful. She's got 2 fouls already.
Lucky enough she didn't get a third on that one.
Johnson has it to Matthews and gives it back to Pagan. Back to Matthews and back to Johnson. Johnson to Zeiss. Zeiss has it, gives it to Gucci Provenche. Back to Zeiss, gives it to Johnson. Here, and feeding it from Matthews and gets it to Pagan. Pagan lays it in for the nice little jumper.
That's how she gets her effectiveness going.
Pagan had 2, now she's got 6. She's got 4 of 6 points here in this third quarter. Frames has it, gets a screen from Canada. Frames gives it to Schechter. Canada in the post on Pagan. She's got to be careful. and Zeiss put her hand in the cookie jar. Was it a foul or was it stripped out of bounds?
That
That was a foul on Zeiss.
Zeiss was just trying to get that ball out of there, but apparently the refs have said
It's only her first foul, so she should be okay. Inbounding it is Cansey. Gives it to Schechter. Here's Frames. Frames feeds it to Cansey. Good defense there by Zeiss. Cansey has it, lost the ball, and it's an air ball, but it's redeemed by Stokes of Albany. And here back Frames. There's no shot, so the shot clock did not reset. You got 10 on the shot clock for Albany. Here's Frames. Frames going to the right, a little pull-up jumper, and no good. Rebound, a one-handed rebound by Gucci Pomachet to skirmish on the floor. It'd be a jump ball in favor of Albany. 35-29 Albany leads, 6:37 left to go here in the third quarter.
checking in for Albany. It will be Patricia Conroy. And Candy out.
Here's Schechter. Here's Conroy. Newly checks in for Albany. Schechter dumps it off to Frames. Frames has it. Dishes it to Conway. Top of the key. Conway to her right. Picks up her dribble. Can't go anywhere with it. Here's Conroy. 12 on the shot clock for Albany. And a kick ball by Matthews as Conroy tried to sneak it into Schechter on the post.
Well, she definitely kept Schechter from trying to work.
And Conroy will inbound it across from Albany's bench. And she will get it to Stokes. Closely, right in front of the official and Zeiss. Now we got 10 on the shot clock. Johnson has it, gives it to Frames. Frames going right past everybody, swatted away by Gucci Promenche.
But it goes out of bounds, stay with Albany, but there's 4 seconds left on the shot clock.
That's her second block of the night for Gucci Promenche. That's 6'4" forward from Ontario, Canada. Conroy trying to get position. Here is Schechter with a little jumper, short, and rebounded by Johnson. And here comes Stony Brook, a little bit of momentum. Johnson has it. She dribbles, passes to Pagan at the wing. Here's Gucci Promenche, top of the key. Matthews, here's possession with Indy Pagan at the post with a nice move. Go with the right hand hook off the glass.
What an excellent layup that Pagan put up.
Pagan has 8, 31-35 Albany leads. I should say 35-31. Here's Canada, top of the key. Has it. Here's the post. And Schechter, good defense there by Pagan. Bully wanted a foul for Albany. And here's Johnson. Watch her in transition. Here's Matthews. Keeps her pivot. And a block will be called on Frames. Looked like Frames got good position there. And the official said that she was moving. And that will be Frames' second foul of the night. I can actually say foul of the night. We're not playing a day game, so it actually makes sense.
Definitely so. Well, here comes Stony Brook now. They're only down by 4 now.
And coming back in for the Great Danes, that is Deja Williams.
And Heather Forster.
And Heather Forster also comes back in. Here's Johnson with a little pull-up jumper. No good. And it's swatted away by Zeiss. And it will go back to Albany. I mean, Zeiss, she plays aggressive defense. But when she wants her hands on the ball, she gets all of it.
Yeah, I see how she wants that. Well, we saw of her as being very defensive every game.
She has 2 steals on the night, leading the team with 2 of the 3 steals. Matthews has yelled her on the fast break. Here's Frames to Conroy. Canada on Gucci Promenche. Going right at the cup with a tough jumper off the glass. Can't get it. That was a hook shot, excuse me. And here's Johnson. Johnson has it. Here's Gucci Promenche. Stays there. Here's Johnson from the corner. Got it to go.
It's Jarrell Matthews.
Was that a 2?
3. It was 3.
A long 2. She's got 14 points. Tied with Frames for the scorers of this game. So it's between Frames and Matthews. And Jarrell Matthews, what a sensational performance to come back after missing 8 games this year.
Yeah, she's definitely making it look like she's no longer injured. So we're going down by 2. Albany calls timeout.
You know that cliche when athletes say, don't worry, she'll be back and she'll be stronger than ever? Well, it looks like she's really showing the strength in her game, and that's that jumper in the wing corner spot.
Definitely true. 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists so far in the night.
35-33 Albany leads. 4:46 left to go here in the third quarter. And a timeout will be called by Albany to stop Stony Brook's momentum. And Jarrell Matthews has kept this game alive in favor with Stony Brook. So while we have a lot of time left, let's look at what the men are doing.
Okay, I'll go take a quick check. The check was 32-30 halftime.
What's the half? Now we're waiting to see what goes on now.
Let's see. Right now, Stony Brook, they are up 38-36.
Close game.
As 2.5 minutes have gone by in the second half.
And Yaboa has 11. Jeff O'Cherry has 4. Elijah Olani has 3. Miles Latimer struggling, 1 of 6 from the field. He's got 5. And Jerron Cornish still has 7 points. And Rizzuto has a jumper. He has 18. That's 16. It's 18. And it's tied now at 38. 17:04 left to go.
Volka has put up a layup after Stony Brook missed. Yaboa missed a jumper that was rebounded by Rizzuto. Antonio Rizzuto.
Thank you.
And they call that layup by Luca and assisted by Hank.
And
Stony Brook right now in women's. They've been on a 10-4 ride so far.
For the locals at the moment for the NBA, Houston up on top of the Knicks 28-26 with 31 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And actually, no, the Knicks are up 31-28 against the Rockets right now at the end of the first.
Well, I guess a question for us and probably people in Stony Brook. Will they bring in Jamil Warney this season?
I don't know. I mean,
he has been doing great so far.
He's been terrific. He's had 20-point games ever since.
In his recent game, he had 31.
31-12.
Despite the loss to
Windy City Bulls. I got you. And James Harden had a 19-point first quarter. 4 of 12 from deep. 4 of 12 from the line. 4 of 12 from the field. 2 of 6 from deep. And for the Knicks, how about Tim Hardaway Jr.? 15 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from deep. And Damian Dotson, Alonzo Trier's got 6 points. Back to Albany, Stony Brook. Here's Stokes for Albany. Dribbling to the right. Has it. That gets a screen from Forster. Here's Conway. Conway has it. She definitely walked. She moved her feet. And Stony Brook get the ball and possibly a chance to get their first lead of the night.
Either that or tie this game up.
Yeah, who knows? Probably one or the other.
And it's a media timeout taken.
It will be a media timeout. So we just got off and now we're back on. So 4:33 left to go here in the third quarter. Albany up 35-33. And no Kiara Banks on right now. She will actually come back in. And Patricia Conway will take a seat. As well will Samantha Cansey. She'll check into the scorer's box. And she'll check in. More than likely, it looks like Deja Williams will take a seat for the Great Danes. Thank you. And let's look at some stats, late stats for the teams at the moment. And Stony Brook, it's pretty much even now field goal percentage. You have they're shooting the ball better now than Albany at 37.5, and while Albany is just shooting a little over 35%.
And there's a three-point percentage as well.
Dead even almost. 31-30.
Yep, Stony Brook leads it by 0.8%. Pretty humoristic. Stony Brook is 5 for 6 on free throws. Albany is 6 for 10, which puts Stony Brook in 83.3%, and Albany at 60. Rebounds, Albany still leads by 4, as Albany still has 4 more offensive rebounds than Stony Brook. And it's tied up at 15 defensive rebounds.
Yeah. Since India Pagan is back in the game, and Stony Brook is down 4 in the rebounding category, with that Oksana Gucci-Povachair in the 4 and whoever else, or wherever it may be, Keena Smith, whatever it may be, Haley Zeiss. Do you think Stony Brook could win the rebounding category at the end of the third quarter?
Well, it does look possible. Stony Brook is already.
It's only 4 rebounds.
Yeah, right now, Albany does lead the rebound by 1 right now in the third quarter.
25 minutes and 10 seconds that Albany has had this lead. Stony Brook has not claimed the lead once tonight. But that could all change in this quarter with the next minute or the next possession.
Yes, Stony Brook does get the ball next.
And there's the media timeout.
Remember, Stony Brook was down by probably about as much as 13 it was. Yeah, Albany was down by as much as 13 with 3:08 left to go in the first quarter. So now Stony Brook is pulling back in into it. And their little comeback attempt is almost there.
Almost there indeed.
This may be a low-scoring affair again in the game.
It looks like it that way for sure.
Both teams have only scored at least 30 points. It could be at least 40 for both of them by the end of this quarter.
And inbounding it for the Seawolves is Haley Zeiss and gives it to Shorty Johnson. Johnson dribbling to her left, right in front, and finds Kiara Frames, says, peekaboo, I'm playing defense right behind her. And Kiara Frames will regather the ball for the Great Danes. She's dribbling to her left. She finds Stokes at the wing. Stokes then dishes it to Forster. Here's Frames back to a wide open Canty, who lays it up and misses it. Was Forster for the Great Danes. Rebounded by Oksana Gucci-Provenche. Wide open at the wing is Zeiss. You can probably way off. And more likely you could have knocked that down. And Oksana Gucci-Provenche's foot was on the out-of-bounds line on the exchange for the rebound.
The double pressure that she was put under the baskets.
Yes. And Provenche tonight, she's got no points. Canada gives it to Frames. Frames goes right at the cup, lays it in with the hesitation on the jab step, went to the left. Johnson thought she was going right, and she put in the floater. She's got 16 is Frames, the leading scorer for Albany. Johnson has it, breaks the defense off of Stokes for Albany. Dishes it to Zeiss at the left wing. Finds a screen from Gucci-Provenche. She'll use it, and a foul will be called on Albany. Can't tell who will be on. It looks like it is on Canty. That's her first foul of the night. 3 more fouls, 2 more fouls for Albany, and Stony Brook will be in the bonus for the rest of the quarter. Provenche will take a seat, and Boucher will come back in. Boucher also yet to score tonight. Boucher has it at the elbow. Dishes off to Matthews. Matthews then gives it to Pagan. Pagan with the jumper fading away. No good. And a foul will be called on Boucher on the over the back. That was obvious.
I guess so.
And Boucher, that is her second. Yeah, your points on the floor right now for Stony Brook. They have scored 31 of their 33. Zeiss defending Canty. Schechter, who gives it to Frames. Back to Schechter at the elbow. Stokes has it, trying to gain possession as Forster. Here's Stokes trying to find it. Here is Canty from the wing from deep. Front rim, no good. Rebounded by Johnson. Johnson has it. And she'll pass the timeline. She thought she had an opportunity. She was too late to respond. And she keeps the ball. 20 on the shot clock. Finds Pagana on the right wing. Boucher, back to Johnson. Johnson going at the cup with the right hand. Misses it. And rebounded. It will be by Frames, but it wasn't the hands of Canty who lost it, but Frames regathered the ball. 2:19 left to go. Albany up 37-33. A low-scoring affair here tonight. Johnson picks the pocket of Schechter and gets to regather the ball, and a foul will be called
on number 24
on Schechter, as Caroline McCombs was begging for it, and she was clearly shoved towards Albany's bench, and that'll be Schechter's first foul of the night.
And Johnson's first steal of the game.
One more foul for Albany, and Stony Brook has free throws. Here's Zeiss. She gives it. Almost picked away by Stokes. And Matthews gives it back to Johnson. Johnson dribbling. Gives it to Pagan at the right elbow. Oh, and a miscommunication again. And Stokes will take advantage. Here's Johnson. Johnson going for the block. And she is fouled. And Johnson fouls Stokes. Stokes makes the left-hand layup and the foul. 39-33. Albany, 1:52 left to go here in the third quarter. And it's the first time we'll see Stokes go to the line on the evening. And she is a 52% foul shooter. So free throws are not the strong suit for Albany on this year's squad, as they shoot a 59% clip from the charity stripe. And rightfully so, off the front rim, no good. Rebounded by Pagan. Johnson has it. Going to her left, has it. Trying to find Matthews from the wing for three. In and out, no good. Long rebounded by Boucher. Boucher has it. She's fouled by Schechter. Schechter gets her second foul in about a minute and a half.
Well, that's a good job by Boucher making her drawing that foul when she was trying to go up for the shot.
And McCollums was not kidding around. I mean, she scouted Albany, and this team likes to play well down low. And they have done that, and Stony Brook has been tested in that category. Boucher, the first free throw is up, and no, it's off the right rim and off. Stony Brook from the line tonight. They are 5 of 7. 5 of 8, misses the second one. And who is that off of? Ooh, and when it went off of Forster, but they're going to say Zeiss touched it last. Could be questionable. Look at the ball, the trajectory of the ball went off of Forster's fingertips, what they're going to say, Albany ball. Frames gives it to Stokes on the left wing. Canada, back to Frames. Get the screen. Going to the right. Finds a wide open Canty in the corner from deep. Got it to go. 42-33. Canty, she has 7. Johnson has it. A minute 10 left to go in the third. She's contested hard by Stokes. And here's Matthews. Matthews had it from deep. From Pagan. Pagan has it. Looking for an opportunity. Johnson definitely did get a punch in on Stokes. I don't know if Stokes got who drew contact first. We don't have a replay for you, but that was intense. My goodness. Wow. Can't believe that just happened. And more than likely, Stony Brook will be without their best scorer for the rest of the game. And if she is ejected, she is finished with only 6 points. And Stokes, on the other hand, may be the same. Wow. Highly unlike something we have seen from Shorty Johnson at all this year.
Looks like they just finished talking. Let's just go to the replay.
Yeah, ejecting. They're ejecting Shorty Johnson. I just saw the official give the thumb the opposite direction, and that is a signal. More than likely she is ejected.
Okay, so right now we have a common foul first on 3 first.
Okay.
Then we got qualifying foul 15. Okay, for the team. Now we want to be mindful to see if there's anything else in the activity that we missed, or players come up with either help or participate.
Okay, so luckily to our Nat sound mic, we got good confirmation. Yeah, I heard. Yeah. So Shorty Johnson and Kefera Stokes are both gone. There was a common foul on Stokes, who initiated the contact on Johnson. However, they are looking at the bench for Albany to see if anyone came off. So they are checking to see that at the moment.
Because apparently that would be on Sportsman.
That would be on Sportsmanlike, exactly. And Johnson will more likely be escorted from security into the locker room. Who would have thought? My goodness. So we are awaiting confirmation on the activity from the Albany bench. While we are waiting, let's get an update on the men, shall we?
Last I checked, they were down by 6 with probably 13:29 left to go in the second half.
So what's the score?
Hang on, let's just check. Look at the
Just keep the live stats box open.
Okay, now it's actually 46-44 Albany. As leading scorer right now for Stony Brook is Yaboa still with 13 points. And second best is Garcia with 8. The score for Albany is
It's Rizzuto, but Haley has 12. Healy has 12, probably
Rizzuto.
off the bench.
Yep, Rizzuto has 18 points.
So 42-33 Albany, up with just a little over a minute left to go in the third quarter. And
Meanwhile, let's get a little G League action going on because right now,
now think about this as well. This could have next game effect as well. I mean, Shorty Johnson could be suspended for a game or two, or they could be very lenient and just eject her and she can play on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely so.
But that
Stony Brook will be
was
playing at Vermont next Saturday, and Vermont's not completely a big team. And
well. Looking at let's also look at the standings, which I have right here in women's basketball in Vermont. They are right behind Albany, which is fifth in the America East at the moment. They're 4-3 in conference play, and they've already had 7 conference games.
Jesus, that's a lot of games. Dude.
And meanwhile, Stony Brook and Albany both have 5, 3 wins and 2 losses. So we have a bit of a delay going on, and they want to make sure they get this right. So we do have a security official coming towards Stony Brook's bench. More than likely, they're going to escort Shorty Johnson to the locker room. However, what are they going to do with Stokes? I don't know. I doubt they're going to escort each other at the same time.
Do we see a security guard near the Albany bench?
On the far right side, yes, but that could be just their normal stance position.
And looks like that security guard is going somewhere else right now.
So more than likely, you will have, and we haven't seen any Warren play at all today. She might fill in, or Chance Cherry will fill in the role for Shorty Johnson for the next 11 minutes and 1 second. Now, if you're Jarrell Matthews, what's going through your mind right now? You're the catalyst of this offense right now. You just came off missing 8 games with a wrist injury, and now you know Shorty Johnson. She's ejected. So is Kepra Stokes as well. But McCombs has to make a decision here, and you see McCombs and Mullen are both talking to each other at half court, giving the fair explanation, and I think whatever they do is the right decision.
I guess I could agree with you on that about how serious something like this is that McCombs will have to take understanding to.
Exactly. Yep, so just confirming from
Stokes and
Stony Brook's Brian Miller. Stokes and Johnson are both ejected. Technical fouls, obviously. And it was a personal foul on number 3 who initiated it, so she gets 2 fouls. You got it. Yeah,
Got it.
Thank you. Yes, okay, thank you.
And you can see Stokes right now leaving the court and going back into the locker room.
Yes, and Shorty Johnson will be escorted on the far side behind Stony Brook's bench. And
with that, it looks like McCombs is talking to Warren, as it appears that Andy Warren is going to start getting some playing time in for Stony Brook.
yeah, no, I'm not surprised by that. Warren is the second best distributor and ball handler, and
she's already going to the free throw line.
Yeah, well, she's going to the line since Stokes initiated the contact, and that now it's the bonus. Yeah, we're good. Thank you. The officials acknowledging us very, very nicely. Our net sound mic catching a lot of the conversation going on, what they're doing on the ESPN stream. And Annie Warren should go to the line for 2, and the first one is up, back iron, and no good.
Looks like Chance Cherry.
And Cherry will check in, more than likely maybe for Zeiss. Unless Warren makes this free throw and takes out. Yes, best way to make it. Warren's a solid free throw shooter on the year. And she's 66%, but then you look at Cherry, she is 56. So that's why they put Warren. They put Warren in for the foul shots.
Seems like Chance Cherry.
And now Cherry is in at the guard position.
Yeah, it seems like for defensive reasons.
And a foul will be called on Zeiss. A little bit too much hands, waving in the air, and may have got a piece of Samantha Cansey. So here's Cansey going to the line for two. Both teams on the bonus for the next 50.2 seconds. The first free throw is up and in and out, no good. So the free throw shooting tonight has been a bit of abysmal. A combined 12 of 22 from both teams. Free throw is up and gets the second one is Cansey. Here is, and she is tripped, is Chance Cherry. She takes a hard tumble on her knee, and she is slow to get up. She might have a stinger right there.
Well, this is a penalty. Well, this is a consequence for Albany trying to initiate the full court pressure once more.
That is on Deja Williams, and it is a rivalry for a reason. And there you go. You have punches thrown between both, and now you have a trip, which almost injured the substitution coming in for the ejected player in Shorty Johnson.
Yep.
Yeah, she's hobbling a little bit on that knee. She just, she's holding her right knee, but here she goes to the line for two. Like I said, she's a 56% foul shooter, and the first one is up. You have to bend your knees a lot to make these. In the first round, she gets the first one to go. Here's the second one. It's an 8-point game, 43-35, 47.8 left in the third quarter. Cherry, the second one. Nothing but the bottom. Just went straight through the net on a high arc.
Yeah, almost made it look like it didn't move.
You see the way Dirk Nowitzki makes a three-pointer? That's how it went through. Williams to the left to Cansey in the corner. Now you have the crowd really starting to get into this game. Good defensive play by Cherry. And she stepped out of bounds, and that might ignite this crowd a little bit, as you can hear it.
And Chance Cherry is definitely getting that one through. I told you she's usually put in for defensive reasons, and that's why.
Cherry got the piece of the ball, and Frame stepped on the out-of-bounds line, trying to regather it.
Shot clock is off, and Chance Cherry is going to probably let this melt down to the last seconds of the third quarter.
20 seconds left exactly this third. Cherry passed the half line. McComb saying, run the play. Boucher gets it from Pagan. Here's Matthews at the wing. Here's Pagan. Left-handed shot. Got it. Albany's got to get a shot off real quick. 2-1. Here is the shot, and it's way off by Frames at half court. And 43-38 will be the score at the end of the third quarter in Albany's favor.
Stony Brook still down by 5, but they're still keeping this game close. And there's only 10 minutes left to finish this game, and they do have a good shot still.
Yes.
Without Shorty Johnson, though, they're going to have to really step it up. Like Jarrell Matthews, Gideon Pagan, and you just saw how Chance Cherry was executing great defense.
Yeah. So you take away 21 combined points. You have Stokes, who averages 5, and then you have Johnson, who averages about 15, 16. And this is going to be a different game. Who knows how this last quarter is going to go. You can really see a lot of intensity. You're going to see a lot of press, and you're going to see possibly a lot of free throws go into this last quarter. It's going to come down to grit. It's going to come down to who's more clutch, and it's going to come down to bragging rights in this heated rivalry.
Yep, definitely so. So let's take a little side note. Right now, at the media timeout, the commercial break for Stony Brook men's basketball. They are down by 4 with less than 8 minutes to go.
Hey, you guys still got plenty of time left, so you got about the same amount of duration left between the men and the women.
Also, another side note, it's currently a tie game between the Westchester Knicks and the Toronto Raptors 905, as it's tied up at 59 at halftime. Jameel Warney, not doing much right now, at 6 points and 2 rebounds. The leading scorer for the Knicks is Isaiah Hicks with 12 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist.
Former UNC
Alum. 2 convenient locations servicing Brooklyn and Kroger 65.
The Boa still leads the way with 13 points for Stony Brook. The second leading scorer is Jerome Cornish, has 9. And as far as the other side of Albany, Rizzuto still has 18 points.
Sylvia De Sosa has 11.
And Clark, actually 8.
Thank you.
Sosa has 11. And Ahmad Clark has 5.
He's the leading scorer. He's the second leading scorer in the American East at 18.2 points a game.
Yep. Stony Brook is trying to work it well. I mean, I can't imagine what's going on.
I'll show you that right now.
I can imagine what's going on in Albany right now.
Yeah, exactly.
If all those fans are like, I wonder if my cousin is there too, because he goes to Albany.
So looking at your leading scorers in the men for the American East, as leaders in scoring, Anthony Lamb, no surprise, Christian Lutit at UMass Lowell, and Ahmad Clark at 17.6. And then right behind him, and tied at 17.6, is Stony Brook's own Akwasi Yaboa.
All right, so here we are back. Here in the fourth quarter we go. Stony Brook down by 5. They start the ball off with the possession arrow leading their way as it started off at the end of the third quarter. So Stony Brook will get it back. Chance Cherry will still be in for the Seawolves again.
Thank you, Zach. And Zeiss will inbound it to Cherry. Cherry passed the timeline, and the final 10 minutes in this rivalry. And you can see Patricia Conroy looks like she's known for her defense, giving Zeiss no room to breathe. Here's Matthews wide open from the corner. No good. And a rebound that would have been on Boucher, and she is fouled on the gather.
Good job by Boucher for drawing that foul.
And Boucher may have tweaked her ankle a little bit, but she's okay. She grimaced a little bit, but she seems to be all right. Matthews will inbound underneath Stony Brook's basket. He'll find Cherry in the corner. She has it. She's going to go right. No one covering. Blow by. Misses the easy layup. And somehow Cherry gets her own rebound that almost bounced off the rim. And the Seawolves will reboot. Boucher has it at the elbow, finds Zeiss. Zeiss going at the cup. You don't see her lay it up, and she hits the floor hard. No foul called, and it's rebounded.
Whoa, and she gets it.
Oh, wow. That could have been a kick ball, and that was off Cansey. And Stony Brook has the ball once again.
The element of surprise that Zeiss is drawing up.
And that's a steal for Zeiss with her foot. Here's Pagan. Watch out for that jumper. And Matthews again from the corner. No good. And way off in a skirmish. And it will be Albany's ball in the jump ball between Zeiss and Cansey. That's Zeiss and Forster. Told you the intensity has increased as we've seen it. So
9:04 left to go now.
9:04 left. 43-38, 9 minutes exactly left as Frames has it for Albany. Finds Cansey on the right wing. Back to Frames, top of the key, gets a screen from Schechter. Frames the jumper from the elbow, no good, rebounded by Matthews. Matthews pushing in transition. It's between her and Boucher with the left hand. She's bumped, can't get it. Boucher on the offensive board, she can't get it either. And it's rebounded by Frames of Albany. You gotta convert that if you're Stony Brook. And it's a turnover by Frames as Conroy was looking in the corner, tried to cut baseline, and Frames threw it away right in front of the band of Stony Brook.
Well, isn't that something? Even that surprised me as well.
No one can get a bucket right now.
I don't know why they can't.
Boucher will inbound it to Cherry, and here comes the press. As you have Aslan who checks back in for Albany. Here's Pagan. Pagan to Cherry. Cherry has it. She'll go right to the cup. Good bounce pass to Boucher. That was beautiful.
Perfect assistance that Cherry initiated.
43-40. Albany leads. 8:11 left to go in the fourth quarter. And Boucher has her first bucket of the night with that nice assist from Cherry. Aslan has it to her left, and it's thrown away by Cherry. Breakaway layup with the right hand, and we have a 1-point game.
And Albany calls time.
And look at the intensity from Chance Cherry and Mackenzie Boucher in the whole Stony Brook bench as they are doing this for Shorty Johnson.
They are definitely getting it down.
43-42, 7:55 left to go as Moen is forced to take a timeout. And Cherry, she has 4 points coming in absence for Annie Warren and Shorty Johnson, who was ejected in the third quarter with 1 minute and 1 second left. But then again, Albany, you take away a good defender and also a good finisher at the lane, and Kepler Stokes as well.
I can't believe this intensity that it's already starting to develop.
A rivalry game is living up to the peak right now. We have a 1-point game, the closest Stony Brook has been all night long.
No doubt about that. And on a side note, men's basketball is currently down by 3, as Albany took a 30-second timeout just before with 4:21 left to go. Even
Latimer, 1 of 10 from the field.
and only 1 of 6 on 3-pointers. There's still a chance for them to win as well. Both teams are currently down by 1 score in this.
Well, Albany's shooting threes under the Rockets. They've shot 26 threes and made 7 of them. Meanwhile, Stony Brook, they shot 17 threes and only made 4. So no one's really getting the upper echelon of that.
It would definitely seem that way.
Here come the cheerleaders. They're throwing out nice little T-shirts. That one's got a cannon on her. And another one tosses to the right to the girl right next to me in the courtside seats.
And with 4:21 left to go in men's basketball and 7:55 left to go in women's, who knows which game will end first?
And who knows what we'll come up to. You have a 3-point game, Albany winning in the men, and a 1-point game, Albany winning with the women.
Both games are a 1-score. Both games are the 1-score lead for Albany. But Stony Brook still threatening for both sides.
And also, we haven't even seen Oksana Gucci-Promache for a majority of the third quarter, and we haven't seen her start the fourth quarter, and she only has 2 fouls, and only shot it twice.
And no points
has
at
no
all.
points. And if McCombs is using that strategy, because I don't understand that really. I mean, is she on the floor? She is still not on the floor. Maybe an injury, a small injury keeping her off.
It's hard to tell.
She's on the bench right next to Keena Smith and Janae Cox.
There is no ice pack or anything on her legs or anything, so I can't assume that it's really a penalty that much.
There's no reason why she shouldn't be on the floor, but oh well. Personnel for the Seawolves is Mackenzie Boucher, Chance Cherry, India Pagan, Haley Zeiss, and Jarrell Matthews. And for the Great Danes, it is Heather Forster, Kiera Frames, along with Alexi Schechter, Aslin, is Kuzmo Aslin, and Samantha Kenzie. So inbounding it is Forster to Frames for Albany. Frames has it to Canty. Good, and it's a jump ball by Zeiss. That's going to go to Stony Brook.
I didn't even see that. I thought that she had a little bit of a an elbow thing on.
Quick
Zeiss.
hand, sleight of hand by Haley Zeiss. Very nice.
So here's their chance to take the lead.
Here's
The
Cherry.
first time
She
tonight.
breaks the press. Finds Zeiss in the corner. She'll take a dribble back to Cherry. Cherry will take it. 18 on the shot clock. 7:33 left to go in this game. Boucher gets from Pagan. Top of the key, Boucher. Back to Matthews at the wing. Here's Gahn. Pagan's tipped, and it's taken by Aslin, and a foul will be on Boucher on the exchange.
That's a bad idea for Bush, even though it's a foul. As you saw, it was just about to be a fast break opportunity for the Great Danes.
Yes. And Aslin, she only averages 1.4 points a game and has played in all 17 games. She has started 1 game this year. But now Frames will get it from Forster. She dribbles to her left side of the wing, gets a screen from Schechter. She'll use it. Stone going right. Wide open, can't see in the 3 from the corner. That kind of quiets the crowd here at IC Arena a little bit. And Albany's back up to 4. 46-42, 7:04 left to go. Cherry, nice crossover. And there's Matthews. Matthews has it. She can take the 3. She holds on to it. And McCombs is telling them to draw play. Cherry dumps it off to Matthews, then back to Zeiss. Gives it back to Boucher at the wing. Cherry has it. Screen from Boucher. Cherry going to the right. Has it.
Oh.
She is fouled, but looks like it's on the floor. Looks like the foul will go on Forster.
And Stony Brook will get it back under the buckets.
Will be on Kiera Frames. Kiera Frames, she has 3. Boucher will inbound it to Pagan. Gives it back to Cherry. They're setting something up for Matthews, and she has contested tough. Here's Pagan. They're doubling her, and she traveled as she was trying to pass it to Boucher. Good strategy there by Mullen to cause the turnover for Stony Brook. And for Pagan, That is her third turnover of the night. Gets a screen is Schechter from Frames. Schechter gets it. Here's Aslan. Aslan, as she traveled, no calls made. Schechter on Boucher. Schechter going up and under, blocked by Boucher, and a jump ball between Pagan and Kanzi, and it will stay with Albany.
And there's 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
They have to get a shot off quickly. Watch out for Matthews in transitions, possibly look at a steal here. Over it, and here is Schechter on the jumper. Can't get it to go, and Kanzi can save it, but to no one available, and it'll go back to Stony Brook.
And Jarrell Matthews saw that the entire time was going out of bounds, so she played it smart.
You can feel the intensity just continue to increase as this game gets closer to conclusion. Tipped was Forster from Matthews' pass at the half-court line, and now Cherry has it. She'll give it to Zeiss. Zeiss has it to Boucher. Boucher, backdoor cut, not available. And Zeiss has it. And another jump ball will be called. This time will stay with Stony Brook. We've had 4 jump balls in this fourth quarter alone.
So many jump balls happening around here.
And Zeiss has it, and she'll inbound it underneath Stony Brook's basket to the left. Look like it'll go to Boucher, then back to Pagan, which goes to Boucher in the corner. Has just almost loses it. Back to Pagan. There's Zeiss, 6 in the shot clock. Zeiss to do something with it. Zeiss has it. Turn around. No good. Rebounded by Forster. Gives it to Frames. Frames has it on the right side. Cherry has it. Gives it back to Forster at the top of the key. And then back to Kanzi, who gives it back to Aslan. Aslan has it. Here's Schechter at the elbow. Gives it to Frames. Frames going at the right with the layup. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Pagan. And here is Cherry. Cherry looking for something available. It's a 4-point game still. Finds Boucher at the elbow on the left side. Cherry going to her left. Finds Matthews an open 3 from the wing. No, on his short. Rebounded by that wasn't Matthews. That was Zeiss. And a foul will be called, looks like on Cherry or Matthews. Matthews got a good look from the wing and could not pass that up short off the front rim. 4:58 left to go in this game as Schechter will inbound it right across from Stony Brook's bench. Inbounds it to Frames. Frames controls it. She passes the timeline. She dribbles to her right to Conroy, who newly checks in for Albany. Gives it to Schechter. Getting a screen. That's a foul on Cherry, surprisingly. It looked like Frames was going to give an elbow to create separation, and maybe Cherry got her hands in the cookie jar. And that will be Cherry's second foul of the night. Conroy will inbound it from Albany's bench. She gives it to Frames. Frames dribbles to her right and gives it to Aslan on the right wing. Good defense by Zeiss. Zeiss then gives it to Canada, who newly checks in for Albany, who then gives it to Frames. Frames, who uses the screen from Canada. Back to Canada on the elbow. A jumper from Aslan. That's going to be deep and rebounded by Aslan on her own rebound. And then Frames will draw it up from there. Dribbles to her right. Gives it to Schechter. And a foul will be called on Pagan. And that will be her third. Little contact, a little bump there, but enough for the refs to draw the whistle as Kanzi's about to check back in for Albany. Here is Frames in the corner, trying to weigh out, and another foul will be called, and that's Pagan. That's her fourth.
What? I didn't even see her do anything.
Say Pagan held her, and that was on Schechter, and now Albany is in the bonus. I might put in Oksana Gucci-Provencher if I'm a Combs.
Yeah, you definitely need
or Keena Smith, regardless, one or the other.
Put either one of them in for India Pagan at this rate.
The first one is up from Schechter off the back iron, no good. And they're going to keep Pagan in this one. Very questionable call by McCombs.
4:08 left to go. I don't think I blame them, actually. And they're down by 4.
And no one is checking in for Stony Brook at the scores table. The second one is up, and it's good. It's a 5-point game now for Albany as Forster comes in for Schechter.
Meanwhile, quick update, a tie game, 36 seconds left in the Stony Brook men's basketball game.
Schechter-
They currently have the ball.
Schechter has 5 points tie game between the men and the women. The men for Stony Brook and Albany, 59 apiece, 36 seconds left.
They do have the ball.
Here is Cherry. Has it to her left. Gives it to Matthews. Matthews then to Zeiss, top of the key. Gives it back to Boucher at the opposite wing. Dunks it off to Cherry. Cherry has it. Can't find a spot. Goes with the layup and lays it in.
Holy mackerel.
A very tight angle off the right side of the glass, and she was able to bank it in, and Cherry has 6 on the night. 3-point game, 47-44. Just at the 3.5 mark left. Frames. Uses the screen. Another wide open 3. She's not going to take it. It's Cansey. And then a nice pass to Forster, and she lays it off the glass. Back to 5. And Forster's now in double figures with 10. Cherry past the timeline. Gives it to Boucher. Boucher then back to Matthews. It dishes to Zeiss. Then screen. Here's Zeiss. Zeiss back to Cherry. Cherry going with the left, and another foul. A foul will be called on Albany. Don't know on who. That will be the third. 2 more, and Stony Brook's in the bonus. Couldn't really tell that was on. That'll be on, I assume, Oslin. That's her first. Zeiss will inbound it. Right to Pagan. Pagan underneath the hoop. Can she get a shot off there? Gets the touch.
Perfection right there by India Pagan.
Shooter's touch for Pagan, and she's got 12. 49-46, 2:47 left. Canada gives it to Frames. Frames going to the layup. She's blocked by Pagan. Rebounded by Forster. No shot clock was reset. Here's Frames in the corner from deep. In and out, no good. And then rebounded by Canada. Here's Canada going up. No good. And saved by Zeiss. And a foul will be called on Albany.
Perfection. Owen, Stony Brook got a 3-pointer from Miles Latimer and men's at Albany. 15 seconds to go.
62-59, 15 seconds left to go. Miles Latimer.
A 6-0 run for Stony Brook in the last minute.
Wow.
And 15 seconds to go, Albany will have to go for a 3 as well. We'll let you know what happens very shortly.
Mackenzie Boucher will inbound it to Cherry. Aslan crushes her through as she gets past half court right now. 23 on the shot clock, 2:18 left to go. Stony Brook down 3, 49-46. Matthews has it. Zeiss to Pagan at the wing. Here's Boucher wide open from the no good. Pass from Matthews. Here's Pagan. She's blocked and picks it up the pieces. It's Boucher.
It's a
1-point game. Back to 1. 1:57 left to go. And Aslan has it.
Correction, men's basketball, it was a 2-point shot.
And here is Forster from the wing. Gives it to Aslan, and it's stripped away by, and it's staying by with Albany as Frames able to keep it. Deep pass is stripped, is taken by Zeiss.
She can take the lead here.
She can take the lead with the layup and misses it. Boucher with the defensive board. She's foul call. She was lean on the arm, and no call was made.
How is that even possible?
And Frames has it. Even the fans behind me are yelling at the officials, and Albany will take a timeout. Albany caught a break as Boucher was definitely fouled by Canada on the wrist.
This is intense right here. It's really intense.
You got 49-48, the women leading Stony Brook, and then you got 61-59 with the men leading Albany.
By 2.
Wow.
Let me reiterate, that Miles Latimer's 3-pointer was actually a
And
jump.
it's tied.
But 6 seconds left.
6 seconds left. Stony Brook's a chance to win the game.
They call it immediate timeout.
4 seconds left. You got 1:19 left. This is vintage Stony Brook, Albany basketball in both genders.
Even India Pagan has 12 points already tonight. 4 seconds left at Albany, as New Albany called their final timeout. Both teams are out of timeout, so we can either see Stony Brook win this game
or go to overtime.
Stony Brook, their last meeting at Albany in men's basketball. That was the American East quarterfinal, practically nearly an upset. Let's get back to women's.
And inbounding it is Cansey. They got 20 on the shot clock. Cherry on Frames to Cansey at the left, at the right wing. Gives it to Schechter. Frames get the screen from Schechter. And it's taken away. Frames able to regather it. 5 on the shot clock. Here's Frames using the screen. Has to go up. Here's Aslan from deep, way out. And banks it in. Oh my goodness, what a shot by Aslan. Knocks it down off the glass, and it's a 4-point game. My goodness. That ball was up in the air for about 20 feet, and Aslan banks it in off the glass. Oh my goodness. Heavily contested and knocks it down. And that is Aslan's first bucket of the night, and it couldn't come at a more crucial time. What a touch and what a bounce for Aslan. The junior from Ankara, Turkey. Unbelievable.
Meanwhile, in the Stony Brook game, there's 2 seconds left, and Albany got a foul. Stony Brook drew the foul. It was on De Sosa, his first of the night. And I can't tell what, and with 5 fouls, both of them, it still looks like it's not going to be a shooting foul, unless...
You need 7.
Yeah, unless it was a shooting foul. We can't tell whether or not it was, and just called it a foul.
And Stony Brook will it looks like Albany is going to call a timeout now. 57.5 left to go. Albany up 52-48.
Meanwhile, it's just hit triple zeros in the second half at Albany, and it looks like we're going to overtime.
Extra time. Regulation's not good enough for this rivalry.
Apparently not. Hopefully it won't be for this one either.
Incredible. You want to talk about Aslan? It's like I said, she averages 1.4 points a game. And that 3 was colossal for Albany's momentum. It's the longest stream I've ever been a part of, just to let you know. We are over 2 hours and 8 minutes on this stream.
Yep. Like I said, it was overtime for men's basketball. Albany did steal it with 1 second left, but apparently they couldn't make it back to the
Every shot is crucial now for Stony Brook. However, Albany has struggled at the line tonight, and it depends on what they can do from there. So looking at a team, they are shooting 8 of 15. Stony Brook 8 of 12 from the charity stripe tonight. They're just shooting over 53% are the Great Danes. Stony Brook an even 66%. Both teams are in the huddle. McCombs is with Matthews, Cherry, Zeiss, Pagan, and Boucher. And for the huddle is Aslan, Frames, Forster, Schechter, and Cansey for Albany. Pagan and Matthews are the only 2 players in double figures for Stony Brook, while you have Cansey, Forster, and Frames are all in figures, double figures as well. Combined between Frames, Cansey, and Forster, they combine for 37 of the 52.
Godzilla and King Kong on the board now.
Here we go. Chance Cherry has it. Here's Zeiss. Zeiss finding Matthews. Matthews has it. She's got to get a good shot. Trying to get a step back. Frames is contesting her hard. They're using a lot of clock here. They need the best shot possible. Here's Cherry.
We got to hurry this up.
Cherry finds Matthews. Here's Zeiss. Gives it to Boucher. Boucher then dumps it back off to Cherry. Cherry has it going towards the right. Trying to find a layup. Has a good opportunity. She's fouled and draws it. It looks like it was on Aslan. But Cherry, she did sink her first 2 free throws. And if you're Stony Brook, you have to foul after these free throws. 2 seconds differential between the shot clock and game clock is too little to lose.
You got to find the right person to foul.
Looks like Patricia Conroy is coming back in, more than likely for free throws in case. Cherry, the first free throw is up, and she rattles it in.
Just like the last time.
3 of 3 on the night is Chance Cherry. Only 56%. this season, but she is making them count right now. 3 of 3, 52-49, 32.4 left.
Although if you make it only a 2-point game and there's 32.4 left, do you want to add full court pressure to it?
I wouldn't. That would not be the worst idea. The second one is up, looks deep. It is, and it's rebounded by. That's Cansey.
You can't let them shoot here.
They are gonna let them. Yeah, because it's telling them to foul or get up on top. I would double if anything. Here's frames, and a screen, and it'll be on Cherry, and that will be her third. And here is frames going to the line. This is her first time going to the line tonight. And it is back iron, no good.
Now she has to miss the second one.
Not necessarily. Stony Brook needs to get a quick shot down the floor, if anything.
You do have a good point.
She is
right
a 72% foul shooter on the year.
Both teams have.
Here's Wolfie trying to be a distraction. There's the second one. It is up and got the second one. And a timeout will be called by Caroline McCombs, 53-49. Albany leads, 19.6 left to go before we hit the end of regulation, or maybe we may have extra basketball as well. Who knows? And King Kong is getting involved now here at IFC Arena along with Godzilla. If you are tuning into this live stream, I hope it has been well worth it. As we have had fouls, we have had ejections, we have had clutch shots, we have had great defense, we have had a terrific America East Conference women's basketball game right here for you on a YouTube stream. It has been fantastic. I'm so happy I've been a part of it with you, Zach, but it's going to come down to free throws.
Definitely so. And if Stony Brook actually gets a three-pointer here, then even if Albany does get the next 2 free throws, it'll still be a 3-point game.
You want to keep it out of the hands of Kyara Frames. She is the most efficient foul shooter on this team, and more than likely she can hurt you. Stony Brook, I would go for the best shot. You don't necessarily need a 3. You're down 4 with 19.6 left. If anything, I can see it. Albany's reading it, trying to set a screen for Matthews in the corner at the window to get a 3. They have to get it into either Pagan or Boucher. It is louder here.
Definitely so.
Here is Zeiss. He will inbound it right in front of Stony Brook's bench.
Now do this quickly.
Boucher set the screen. Here's Pagan. Good look for Matthews. That's way short. And did an Albany player touch it? No. It was boxed out by, looked like it was boxed out by Cansey, and Albany get the ball back. Now, if you're Stony Brook, you have to foul or play very tight defense. And a timeout will be called now by Albany. Matthews got a great look. They drew it up nicely and completely had me off guard. Got the overlook pass to Pagan. Got the screen from Boucher to set up Matthews. Matthews just way off. And more than likely a week from today, and Zach will be on the call for Stony Brook and UMBC, who Albany just defeated by 20 a couple of days ago, 64-44. And just ahead of time, we don't know if we'll be on YouTube stream. We more than likely will be if the men's game is at the same time. And we are scheduled for a 7 o'clock game on January 30th on Wednesday. More than likely the men will play the same. If anything, you will see this on Stony Brook women's basketball versus UMBC 1/30/19 as the date. If you want to check into that YouTube stream, more than likely we'll be going the same time as we did today at 6:50 p.m. Eastern time. And it depends on the outcome for what we have here. Not really, but this game has been exhilarating to call.
I definitely see how that's been happening.
As Cansey will inbound it, trying to find a spot, and it's going to be pressured, and a foul will be called. Looks like it on Zeiss, and Conway will go to the line for 2. So Conway, pretty sure this is her first trip to the line tonight, and she is a 78% foul shooter, and from the looks of it, it's the best on the team. In and out, no good, the first one.
Meanwhile, quick update. 41 seconds left in men's basketball. They are up by 1. Actually, now it's 35 seconds left, and Stony Brook calls timeout.
Here's Conroy. The second free throw. It is up. Looks good. It is good. 5-point game. Aspen will come back in for defense, and Conroy will go back in on the bench. They needed 1 free throw, and that might just be enough to do it. Stony Brook needs to make this shot. Here is Cherry. Cherry has it. She sets it up, and it went off the fingertips of Frames. And does it stay with Stony Brook? It does. It looked like it could have gone off the fingertips of Matthews. Here's Cherry. Cherry will inbound it.
Have to do this right now.
Frames is all over Matthews. Here's Cherry. Cherry has it. Here's Matthews. Matthews going to go right to the lane with a left-hand shot. Can't get it to go, and that will do it. Albany comes in and defeats the Stony Brook Seawolves 54-49. And now Stony Brook still cannot get that drought to stop even after almost 4 years. That is almost 47 months they have not been able to beat this team.
That's definitely disappointing indeed. Very annoying at the least.
So the next time Stony Brook will have a chance to possibly take down Albany will be in Sefcu Arena in Albany, and that will not be until February 20th, a little over a month from now. And Albany takes down the Stony Brook Seawolves by 5, 54-49. It was tough. They did it the second half of the game, mostly without the top scorer, Shorty Johnson, depending on what's going to be the consequences after that game. And it's going to be a tough one for Stony Brook Seawolves to swallow for sure, as they now fall to 3-3 in conference play.
Yeah, but how about this? UMBC has just defeated Vermont in men's basketball, 70-61.
Wow. UMBC, TJ Moore had to be all over that game.
And believe it or not, if Stony Brook wins, which they're up by 1 with 35 seconds left, they will have total first place dominance.
It is possible, but then it all depends on what Maine does, and it all depends on what UMBC is right up there as well. But yes, and a tremendous game to call, Zach. I'm happy I was able to call it with you. Even though Stony Brook lost, it was well worth watching. Unfortunately, fell down in Stony Brook's favor, and also one of the star players had to leave the game early due to an ejection.
Yeah. Imagine how much different this game could have been if she was back still in.
Yes, and your ending scores, it was Kyra Frames led the way with 17 points. Then you had Samantha Kansi. She finished with 11. Then Heather Forster finished with 10 in double figures. We had 2 in double figures for Stony Brook with Jarrell Matthews in her comeback game of this year. She finished with 14 points. And Indy Pagan, she finished with 12. Chance Cherry, in the absence of Shorty Johnson, finished with 7. Mackenzie Boucher with 4. And Haley Zeiss had that triple in the first quarter. And that was pretty much it from there, as she finished with 3. And the rebounding battle won by Albany, 40-36. And it was a tough game for between both teams. And this is what a rivalry is all about.
Yep. And here's a quick update. Currently with the ball men's basketball. The ball trying to make a shot. Latimer will go up for
wide out. No good. Rebounded by Albany. 6 seconds, and they're going to call a timeout. Ooh. So, without further ado, we are going to say goodbye from IFCU Arena. Thank you so much for tuning into the YouTube stream. Looked like only 2 people tuned in, but still, 2 is better than 1. We appreciate you for tuning into Stony Brook Women's Basketball here on the YouTube stream. And more than likely, we will see you on Wednesday next week when Stony Brook plays UMBC at 7 p.m. here, more than likely on the YouTube stream. I'm Jim Ferchland alongside Zach Wilson. We thank you so much and hope you have a tremendous evening.